No case is too big or too small. Due to his success, hard work, and commitment to excellence, attorney Jonathan Gonzalez has been listed in Super Lawyers Rising Stars, as well as in the top 40 under 40 list by National Trial Lawyers. You can find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9187.
Heyo, Johnny Mosley here, coming at you with Thursday's Toyota Tahoe report. The Toyota is fired up and ready to roll. Let's tap the experts to see what Palisades has in store for us today.
Thanks, Johnny. Tahoe skiers, Thursday is looking beautiful. Expect sunny skies with highs near 50 degrees and overnight lows in the upper teens. Perfect conditions to hit the slopes. This report is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Join Sactown Sports Downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In Shape Fitness Kings Rally towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Sacramento, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT. This month only. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
KHD-KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX-HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson. Online at SactownSports.com or on the app. Kings, Niners, and Sacramento. The Matt and Kayla Show starts now.
All right, we're starting the show by potentially alienating a sponsor, one of the biggest companies on the planet. So Kayla this morning orders a little Starbucks, a little bit of Starbucks, needs a little pick me up, and gets her coffee and decides to get a little snack, a little treat from Starbucks. Well, big emphasis on the little. Kayla, what did you order?
Oh my goodness.
And what did they give you?
So, first of all, shout out to our boss, Jose. He, brought it up to me because we've got security here.
Yeah.
So, they got to leave it at the gate. So, he brings it up in a bag, and I open the bag right after we get off the air in crosstalk.
Yep.
And I'm so hungry, I'm just, ripping everything open. I'm just messy, you know. And I open it up, and I look down, and it literally looks like a dog biscuit I would give my dog Red.
So when Jose brought it up, did he eat half of it?
I think he might have.
It's tiny. It looks like a paper football that you make.
What is this?
That cost you $7, didn't it?
I'm sure it cost me at least $3 plus.
Plus fees for delivery.
Yeah.
That's true.
So never again, Kayla.
Enjoy your 2
bites. We need to figure out how to do things ahead of time. This is not going to cut it. All right?
What a breakfast.
It's literally like a biscuit I give I could seriously eat this in one fitting. One sitting.
That'll sustain you through the first 5 minutes of this show,
think so.
and then we're going to lose
That's
Kayla
all.
when she goes to the vending machine downstairs for
Pretty much.
the other 2/3 of her breakfast.
Do not have your stuff delivered, especially when it's
I'm telling you, either Jose took a piece of it or the delivery driver took a piece of it, because whatever that is, that's not a meal. Or
it's pathetic.
It's tiny.
But not like the Kings.
No, the Kings,
they're not pathetic.
They're winning, and I don't like it. We'll get into the Kings and their victory over the New York Knicks. And hey, welcome back to Sacramento, Mike. Now, why don't you pack your bags and get out of here with this L? The Knicks were terrible last night, and the Kings have now beaten 3 straight playoff teams with a combined record, by the way, of 72 wins and 43 losses. Mm-hmm. And they've beat them comfortably. Like all three of them, they're handling their business and they're winning these games in different ways, kinda. Although the defense, believe it or not, has been consistently good. I don't remember the last time I've said that when talking about the Sacramento Kings. We're gonna dive into this game, but we have to start really quickly with a note that I got this morning about Malik Monk.
Right.
Because today is Jonathan Kaminga Day. Happy Jonathan Kaminga Day to all you out there. Oh, by the way, I'm Matt George. That's Kayla Anderson, and we have Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass. Kyle, happy Jonathan Kaminga Day to you.
Do we have a sounder?
I don't know. We need a Jonathan Kaminga Day sounder.
What would he want?
We have the Kaminga Watch sounder.
There we go.
There we go. Happy Jonathan Kaminga Day to all who celebrate.
Matt, every day is Jonathan Kaminga Day for me.
Well, the reason why this is really the legitimate, actually Jonathan Kaminga Day is because today is January 15th, which is the day that he is eligible to be traded.
Right.
A lot of players, like Dennis Schröder, for example, when they signed their contract during the offseason, they were eligible to be traded on December 15th. That's why December 15th is considered to be like the open of trade season. But January 15th was the specifics, and I don't entirely know why, of Jonathan Kaminga's new deal. So he is available to be traded today, and he went to ESPN and said, I demand to be traded. And nobody cares because everybody already knew.
We already know this.
Everybody already knew. But Malik Monk, his name has been connected to Jonathan Kaminga trade conversations since the summer. Mm-hmm. And one of the first things that became pretty clear with Scott Perry is that maybe Malik doesn't fit his plan. And we've discussed on this show, Kayla, this week that how much is it Malik the player versus how much is it his contract? Because, I mean, as you know, sometimes you got to move money, and the three contracts ahead of Malik Monk's are a lot more difficult to move.
Right.
So Malik's been available in conversation. He was available in sign and trade talks with Dennis Schröder and the Detroit Pistons during the summer before the Kings traded for him. And then he's been connected to these Jonathan Kaminga trade rumors really since the beginning. And it's always seemed like the Kings are trying to move him. The Kings want to move on from Malik Monk. He's not part of the long-term plan. Well, I got a note this morning that said, or I'll just read it verbatim for you. Okay. Going back to the summer, the Sacramento Kings were pretty eager to try and move Monk and his contract. As of now, that's changed. A source tells me, Matt George, the Kings are comfortable with keeping Malik and don't appear to be actively shopping him at this time. When you read that, when you heard that, because I'll share my initial reactions, but I don't want to influence yours. When you heard that or read that, what was like the first thing that popped into your head?
First of all, I'm like, whoa, that was a change of thoughts. After all of this background that we've just laid out and that all of the fans know about because they follow every single thing that happens, it was like, okay, what happened? Right. Did somebody just pretty much go to Scott Perry and say, yep, no one's interested. Like, no one's interested in Malik Monk at this time. I doubt that's the case. Mm-hmm. Is it, what popped in my mind, is it because Malik Monk has been playing really well and they maybe think about, well, maybe we could use him in the future. Having second thoughts. And then my third thought is always like, it's a business. Like, we want to make sure that, you know, now we're kind of saying he is valuable to us. So if you want him, you really are going to have to come and get him. And maybe that piques some interest with other teams. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like pick which one you want to go with here. Because the one thing is the timing's weird.
Very weird. Very weird. And you're laying out the three logical scenarios, right? It's one of the three. It's either, and my first initial reaction when I heard this was, this sounds like posturing. This sounds like, and I don't think it's going to be effective in any kind of way, but let's say Malik has been involved in all these conversations or other conversations. And it sounds like in terms of a Jonathan Kaminga trade, and we'll talk about this a little bit later on because Sam Amick was on with Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross this morning and had some notes about the Kings looking for a third team. And we always figured, well, if the Kings are looking for a third team, then they're probably trying to find a team to take Malik Monk because the Warriors clearly don't want him. So is it posturing to now maybe now a team's more willing to trade for Malik because now we're putting up this wall like, you know what, we don't want to trade him anyway in hopes to entice a team to go, okay, fine, we'll take him, right? Which I think is never,
like, come on.
It's never going to work.
We're all like big boys here.
It's like high school,
We know what's going on, yeah.
It's like a high school. You know what, I actually like this guy now.
I like him. That's my boyfriend, or that's my girlfriend.
Yeah, it's kind of what the Warriors have been doing this entire time with Kaminga, if we're being completely honest.
100%.
So there's that posturing side. There's, which I don't think is very effective. There's is this damage control in the sense that the Kings feel, because like Kayla, you've seen this in the NFL side too. Like players are very aware that they're available. And Malik has been a total professional about it. Anytime we ask him about it, he said, like, I'm just doing my job. I'm not worried about that. But they're human beings. It's impossible for them not to be aware that their name is coming up and they're involved and they see their name.
Some are more sensitive than others.
100%.
Not saying that Malik Monk is, but I'm just saying there are guys that are.
So if you're seeing your name in trade talks for the better part of a year and we're approaching the trade deadline a few weeks away, and maybe the Kings feel like, you know what, we're not going to be able to move on from Malik. We're just not going to find a good deal or a team that's willing to take on his contract. So maybe, Kayla, there's damage control going on to where they want to appease Malik a little bit more. But you know what? No, we really wanted to keep you. We changed our mind on you. I mean, that's a potentially logical scenario.
I think that's logical too. And I wish I was a fly on the wall in either Vivek's office or Scott Perry's office, because these are always the questions that there's just not one certain answer.
Mm-hmm.
And that is another one that you brought up that I didn't even think about, but you're exactly right. Players are human beings when it comes down to it.
Mm-hmm.
And they are going to take things personally no matter what they say or how they act in the media. Some players do reveal their cards, and that's probably not the best thing. Malik Monk does not do that, but that's not saying that Malik Monk has not listened to everything that's been going on. And I even think has kind of used some of those DMPs to fuel his play in the last few games as well.
Absolutely. You're seeing him play. We're seeing him get back to a role that he's familiar with. And we're seeing that Malik Monk energy and kind of the juice a little bit. He didn't play great last night necessarily. The Kings as a team did.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no question a large reason why the Kings beat the Rockets and the Lakers before last night was because of how well Malik has played off of the bench. So there's that. Maybe they're just trying to damage control a little bit. They don't think they're going to be able to move on from him, and they want to make sure they keep him happy. And then there is, of course, the third scenario where maybe they just changed their mind. Maybe they saw how he's been playing, and they think, you know what? The contract's not that bad, and Malik one of the things Malik has talked about a lot, because we've suddenly started speaking to him a lot recently because he's been playing well, is he's talked about, like, I haven't been worried about the playing time so much, which could be a lie, but that's what he's telling us. But I've been actively trying to teach the young guys, and I've been trying to work with the young guys as much as possible. And when he was getting all these DNPs and wasn't playing, there were multiple instances of cameras catching him on the bench, up, cheering, putting his arm around Neek, putting his arm around these young guys, talking to him. He has a great relationship with Dylan Cardwell, it sounds like. So maybe the team has seen that, and they're like, okay, maybe Malik can actually be part of this rebuild process a little bit. And at the very least, we keep him around, we buy ourselves some time, and maybe in a year when there's only 1 year left on his deal, maybe it's easier to move him then. So that's always a possibility.
And that's what's funny about that, Matt, too, because you can't predict what the league is going to do and who's going to call you from one day to another.
Sure.
So you also then, if that is the case, risk putting this out here, and your fans are listening, right? And your fans are kind of like excited because there's a lot of Malik Monk supporters out here.
Mm-hmm.
I, for one, love Malik Monk, love the energy he brings, just the person that he is. But if you put that out there and you're like, yeah, we're kind of like cool on not doing anything with him right now, and fans are like, all right, cool, yeah, all right, Pizza Guy's going to stay, at least for the time being, and you get a call next week.
Right.
And they're like, hey, we're going to give you this okay, see ya. Yeah. Peace out, Malik Monk. I think that's always an interesting thing, that just a week earlier you put this out. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. They either feel really confident that he ain't going nowhere, or they're going to have a little bit of egg on their face.
And that's why it might end up just simply being posturing. And like, I'm not going to lie to you, it's spooky to put out a report like this, because when I heard this, immediately the not alarm bells necessarily, but like the skepticism is going off, because suddenly things are changing conveniently right around on the day that Kaminga is available, and right around the time where the trade deadline conversation is really going to pick up. And the reality is, like, we know that the Kings would rather not trade Keegan Murray, or Neek Clifford, or Dylan Cardwell, or Maxime Reynaud. They don't want to trade any of the young guys. But you're 11-30. Every single player on this roster is available for the right price. Mm-hmm. So in no way, shape, or form do I want people to interpret this tweet and this report as, oh, the Kings are not trading Malik Monk anymore.
Yeah.
No, because if they get what they want, if the Warriors all of a sudden come back to them and go, you know what, fine, we'll take Malik in this initial offer. The Kings are accepting it.
Absolutely.
That's what they've
100%.
wanted for months. That doesn't just go away, poof, on the day that you can actually trade for him.
No. And the timing, too, I ask you this because you've been here when multiple trades have happened, when different things have happened around the trade deadline. Why do you think the timing might be now, though? Just because we're getting closer?
Well, this is where there starts to be, this is what we call smoke season, right?
Yeah.
There starts to be a lot of smoke. And what is fabricated smoke from a fog machine and what's actually a fire, right? And I think all elements of smoke have elements of truth to it. I do think there is an element of truth to the Sacramento Kings. I don't think the Kings are bothered at all by the idea of Malik sticking around.
Right.
I think it's very different from in the ESPN article today, and we'll talk about this more later on. There was a passage from the article that said the Warriors wouldn't mind keeping Kaminga the rest of the season. Sure. Fine. Have him sit on your bench and pay him $25 million. Yes, you absolutely would mind. The Warriors are trying to get rid of him, and he wants to get out of there, and that's a situation. So, yes, the Warriors do mind. I don't believe that. No. But I do believe that the Kings, like I put out there, the Kings are comfortable with Malik sticking around if they have to. I just don't necessarily believe that suddenly we're less willing to trade him now.
Yeah, no way. No way. Because the thing that we have talked about for, before the trade deadline opened up is the fact that they have to move someone.
Yeah.
And we're here now on, what date is it? January 15th?
15th.
And there's been little movement around the league. But there's just one piece I feel like we're waiting to see so that maybe that could show us the direction, or help get into the direction they want to go in. But now we're sitting here going, oh, well, Malik's now maybe somebody we're just going to chill on. That doesn't look great in terms of moves happening.
Yeah. Can I share with you my fourth theory, the fourth potential thing?
Yeah, I'm curious.
And then we'll talk about last night's Kings-Knicks game. We'll talk about actually what's really happening, not these rumors. I wonder if the Sacramento Kings have now pivoted to being more willing or likely to trade Dennis Schröder. And the reason I feel that way, and it's not, I'm not basing this off of he's out for 3 games and the Kings are winning 3 games. Anyone who says the Kings have won these last 3 games because Dennis Schröder hasn't been playing, that's way simplified, and it's just not true. Dennis Schröder has been solid for the Kings in that off-the-bench role. So that's just not true. It's not fair. But when you look at Dennis Schröder's contract, and we talked about this earlier this week, Kayla.
We did.
You look at Dennis Schröder's contract, it's $4 to $5 million, $5 to $6 million less per year. He has 2 years left. Malik has 2 years left. $4 to $5 million less per year than Malik's, and the last year is partially guaranteed at only $4 million.
It's nothing.
That contract is way easier to move. Yeah. Plus, Dennis Schröder has bounced around the league a ton and is a veteran, and we know the Detroit Pistons really liked what he brought to them in their playoff series last year. And so maybe there's a team out there that's more interested in, 1, Schröder's playoff experience compared to Malik's, and 2, his contract compared to Malik's. So could this be that the Kings are pivoting away from shopping Malik because they're trying to find a team to move on from Dennis? Because the reality is, Kayla, they still need to move one of their veteran guards. They have to.
They have to. I mean, it's been the log jam forever from the start of the season. We've heard that word so many times. And it's still going to be a jam once one of these guys go, but at least you start the movement, right? It is interesting because remember when Schröder was kind of tied briefly back to Detroit earlier this season where we're like, would he ever go back there at any point? There was a small little blip about that.
And I'm not fully sure. I have to look this up.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure that the Pistons can get him back.
Yeah, and that's the other question that was being brought up. They can.
They can.
Cannot.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Okay, so that
not
was,
until the summer.
Not until the summer, which is okay.
Yeah.
So my next question to you, really quick, is because I'm just interested.
Yeah.
Because we talk about a guy like Demar DeRozan, and I know he has a bigger contract and everything, but Demar is just such a different piece, I feel like, and I know he probably only fits certain places. But Schröder is interesting too.
Mm-hmm.
I only feel like he would fit certain places. So where would you just like front of mind go to.
See, I must be completely off base here because I do not understand how DeMar DeRozan doesn't have more value.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
And we talked about this yesterday.
And yes, his contract is in the 20s, but the final year of his contract next season is only $10 million guaranteed.
Right.
So if it doesn't work, if the team I always think of is like the Cleveland Cavaliers, if they bring him in and he doesn't fit and it doesn't work this play, then you cut your losses, you take that $10 million hit, and you move on. It's not a long-term commitment the same way trading for like a Zach LaVine or a Domantas Sabonis is. So to me, and like we talked about, he's proving that he can score still at a very efficient rate without the high volume and without the ball constantly in his hands. And I see a lot of people saying, yeah, but he doesn't fit a lot of their styles. But if you're bringing him in off the bench in 20 minutes, like why can't he just be that mercenary, go out and get me a bucket while Donovan Mitchell gets a breather?
And that's what I'm wondering, Matt, because and maybe that is part of it. Maybe people or front offices are thinking, well, DeMar is a starter still. Like, look at in Sacramento, and we, we're afraid that if we, bring him here and he comes off the bench, that it's not going to, he's not going to be happy, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
First of all, who cares? Get the piece, because there's probably injuries that pop up once in a while anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Just have him there, and then have him there to come off the bench. He's not going to be unhappy. He's a pro.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to be like frustrated. Yeah, okay, great. He's a pro though. He's never not shown that he's just going to go do his job.
And I think we all know he wants to play more meaningful basketball. And what's worse, starting for an irrelevant Sacramento Kings team where Doug Christie might not even have the legs to stand on to tell you can't start because, again, you're 11-30. Mm-hmm. And DeMar's been really good over these last few games. Really good. And he was great last night. He played way too much. He played 41 minutes last night, but he's been really, really good. It's harder for Doug Christie on a really bad basketball team to say, yeah, you know what, you're not starting. But if you sent him, hypothetical, if you sent him to Miami, you don't think Eric Spoelstra can go, hey, we brought you here to be a mercenary off the bench. And if you're DeMar, hey, I'm a little more willing to accept that given the circumstance and the coach that's telling me that.
They'd love, first of all, I mean, that fits the Miami kind of mold,
it does.
Right? By the way, we'll talk about Ja down the line, but he ain't fitting the Miami mold. I'll just say that.
He wants to go there, no duh.
He wants to go there. But yeah, that's a great point. Like especially if you go to the right place that's contending, sometimes you do swallow a bit of that pride at his point of his career where he does want to wear a ring at some point. Mm-hmm. And maybe that gives him the best opportunity to do that. I'd rather do that as a player at this point in my career than sit somewhere where, I'm getting all these minutes and I'm scoring all these points, but what the heck is this getting me?
Yeah. I don't understand why DeMar doesn't have more value. I haven't understood why Malik doesn't have more value other than the contract thing is the only logical explanation because like we talked about with the apron system, which the NBA needs to just go back to the drawing board with this apron system. When they negotiate a new CBA, the apron system, I get the theory behind it, but it's hurt teams and it's hurt one of the key entertainment values of the league. Dave made a really interesting point this morning while talking to Sam Amick.
With Sam.
Yeah.
We're going to say the same thing. Say it.
And he talked about evaluating players less about their talent and more about their dollar figure.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Spot on. We got to get back to talking about the players with how talented they are as basketball players, not how much they cost. That's where the conversation has changed, Kayla.
It has changed. And I think Dave even brought up the question to Sam because it's the overall picture of kind of right now with teams kind of being so stingy and, the dollar amount means so much. And it's kind of hurting right now when there's trade talks. There's really not a lot of it. And that's what people fiend for is we want to hear all about what's going on and what trades are being made. And it's kind of been quiet.
Yes.
And there hasn't been a lot because of the money and, not wanting to take on these big salaries and everything. And people are not as interested in reading articles about stats in the game. They want to hear who's being traded, where is he going? Okay, show me some movement,
right.
And there's not really a lot going on right now.
The free agency period this past summer was a disaster.
Yep.
Shams had said, buckle up for a very interesting free agency, and nothing happened. And I know the league might reference, well, we had the Luka blockbuster last summer or last winter at the trade deadline. Yeah, but that took a moronic decision by a general manager who no longer has a job. That's not that was unbelievably crazy.
Right.
But we can't rely on something like that happening every single year.
No. I mean, and because it was Luka, it carried
right.
for a long time, but that is not I hope somebody is not that stupid to do something like that again. But yeah, I found that interesting, like your point about the salaries compared to the actual player, and also just right now with it being so little movement that there's just not a lot right now to talk about except for us guessing things.
Let's pivot really quick because I don't want to just try and cram talking about last night's game over the last 2 minutes of this segment. So let's move really quickly and flop the Jonathan Kaminga stuff here at the end, and then we'll talk about Mike Brown's return in the Knicks game in the next segment. And, of course, we're going to get into it a ton in the show over the next 4 hours. And if you want to be a part of the show, please feel free, 916-339-1140, 800-920-1140. You want to call in, weigh in on this Malik Monk rumor and everything that's out here on Jonathan Kaminga Day, feel free to do so. But, Kayla, the report coming out that Jonathan Kaminga has demanded a trade, like Sam Amick said it best, like everybody just kind of shrugged. Like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, because he and his agent, they've been doing this for a while now. And props to his agent for just kind of like out there hustling as much as he can. That's what agents are supposed to do because, by the way, you pay agents quite a pretty penny when they actually get you a job. But it's like, okay, because it's JK Day, it's Jonathan Kaminga Day, they probably had to put something out there. They had to say something because there's been little to no movement. We've really pretty much heard from reports that the Sacramento Kings are the only real serious interest in Kaminga right now. So they're like, what can we do? Oh, demand a trade. Maybe we get some other teams interested that he really wants out. It's just another thing that's trying to happen to try to get him.
Yeah, Sam said as much earlier. Kyle, do you have that sound queued up? What Sam said about he said he talked about the Kings needing a third team, but he talked about how there are other teams with quote unquote interest, but we'll get to that sound a little bit later on in the show. Plus, I'll read for you this passage of the Warriors saying like they're happy to keep Kaminga if they have to or whatever. I would love to get your reaction to that, Kayla. But coming up next, we got to talk about the game last night. The Kings beat the Knicks. They've won 3 straight, and I'm having a hard time being happy about it, and I hate it. I hate what I've become. We'll talk about it on Matt and Kayla right here on Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers' quest for 6 goes through a familiar rival.
He's got it, and 20 more. Touchdown, Seattle.
Niners, Seahawks. This Saturday, kickoff at 5 p.m. only on Sactown Sports 1140.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to start strong, so you can give everything you've got. From plate-loaded strength equipment and functional training areas to treadmills, stair climbers, and free weights. Our equipment is best in class, and our clubs are right around the corner, so you can go all in. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Deal extended through January 16th. Don't miss it.
See club for details.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Sactown Sports 49ers Report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. Niners pull off the big-time upset in Philly, defeating the defending champs 23-19. Christian McCaffrey had over 100 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns in the win. The D comes up with a stop in the final minute to secure the win. Niners now travel to Seattle on Saturday for a divisional round playoff game. Catch that game right here on Sactown Sports 1140, beginning at 4 o'clock.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Get as loud as you can for Monster Jam!
The one and only Monster Jam.
Packed with stunts, smiles, and jaw-dropping skills. See the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks. Like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. Only at Monster Jam. Coming to Golden One Center January 23rd through 25th. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Savings available on select opening night tickets.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, Toyota. Let's go places.
The Sacramento Kings, who have struggled so mightily this year, came into the homestand with a record of 8-30. And as the horn sounds, they beat the Knicks to end a 4-game slide against New York. And they now win for the first time this season, 3 in a row.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Matt George, Kayla Anderson, Kyle Ledbetter on the other side of the glass with us. Kayla, help me out. I love that call from G. Yeah. The Kings have won 3 straight. Why am I not happy about it? I can't get happy about it.
I know, and I'm like, I heard you on your podcast last night. I watched a little bit of it this morning, and you were very conflicted. Now, part of it, Matt, I said you need counseling.
Yes.
For Mike Brown and the departure.
Fair.
So part of it is like you, deep down in your heart, a little bit of you wants
My
Mike
boy
Brown
to
to have some success.
Yeah.
You know? And then part of you are a Kings fan that has dealt with a lot. And just when you were like, this team is tanking, I mean, they haven't said that, but we all know, they're losing games. Things are not going their way, but they're going their way in the lottery part of things.
Sure.
And being one of the top 3 picks, possibly, with that 14% chance. But then all of a sudden, a rock is thrown your way and everything shatters. And now they've won 3 games. And now you're like, oh, shoot. Have they started to figure out something? Because this team looks different.
Yeah.
This team looks different from first quarter to fourth quarter that they have earlier this season.
Well, 1, Kayla Anderson's my co-host, and 2, now Kayla Anderson is my therapist, and she's going to help me talk through this. I hate it. I hate what I've become. And genuinely, I was sitting there during the fourth quarter of that game going like, what if the Knicks came back from down 25? Oh, they got it to within 15. Ooh. And then, by the way, the final score, 112 to 101, doesn't do that game justice.
No.
That game wasn't close. The Kings absolutely bullied the Knicks. Now, to be fair, they lost Jalen Brunson after like 4 minutes, which is tough. But even so, Cat played terribly. Dylan Cardwell was all up in that dude's head.
He was in his head.
In his head. But Kayla, I genuinely, I'm watching this going like, I want to be able to enjoy this, and I'm glad. Every fan that was there, that was cheering, that was having a good time, good for you. I don't blame you. There are so many people that just go to Kings games just to get entertainment. They're not deep in the weeds like us.
Yeah.
I don't look down at anybody who said last night was fun. And if you think like, Matt, you're miserable, stop it. You're right. Like, I don't feel good about the fact that I'm just like, the Kings are winning too much and they drop. Now there's plenty of time. Plenty of time for them to lose games.
To be exact, how many games we got left?
We're halfway through.
Yeah, we're halfway.
41.
So. Okay.
And we got 41 more to go.
We go.
There's plenty of time for them to lose. But last night with the win, Kayla, they dropped from 3rd to 4th in the draft lottery, and top 3 is where you want to be. The 4th is where you drop. You go from having a 14% chance of the number 1 overall pick, which is equal to the top 3, and a 52% chance of being in the top 4, which the Kings bare minimum have to be in the top 4, to a 12.5% chance of the number 1 overall pick, and a 48% chance. So it's now no longer a likelihood that you're in the top 4. If the Kings fall out of the top 4, I'm going to cry. I'm just going to cry. Breakdown.
I think a lot of people will, because I've slowly watched the shift of people like towards the beginning of the season when things were still like kind of hopeful that they could be a play-in team. But really, what's that going to do you when you're a play-in team?
Don't even say it.
Yeah, it makes me puke. But now they have in the past 2 months, month and a half, I should say, been like, okay, we're accepting it. We're going to get a good pick. And we're going to get one of these college players. By the way, we're going to talk about Cameron Boozer a little bit later on the show with Chris Watkins.
Yep.
So we could have a real possibility at getting one of these superstars right now. And I think it's just hard. And I'll even say if I was born and raised here a Kings fan, I'd be probably on the same boat as you. Why am I feeling bad about like wanting to lose? Because it's fun to win. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of dangerous too because you've been winning against really good teams like you mentioned. And I've been around enough teams in my lifetime where there is such thing as momentum. That is not an underrated word when it comes to winning and when it comes to just the vibes. And it scares me a little too because you've got the Washington Wizards coming into town.
Yep.
That team is not good either.
Nope.
But that team is not doing exactly what this team's doing right now in terms of finding a groove.
And the Wizards are the team that pushed the Kings down out of the top 3. The Wizards are third now in the draft lottery standings, tankathon standings, and the Kings have dropped to 4. So I don't think the Wizards want to win that game.
No, I don't think so either.
Any interest in winning that game? Like Kayla mentioned, 105, Chris Watkins here from Sactown Sports joins us in studio. He'll talk a little Kings, but he was at Duke versus Cal last night at Berkeley, and he got to watch Cam Boozer in person. And he's also going back, I believe, this weekend to see Caleb Wilson. And
look at Chris. I'm loving this.
He's our scout, man.
He's our scout. That's awesome.
So we're going to have Chris come in and tell us about what he noticed from Cam Boozer, who played really, really well last night. Duke ran through Cal. And then at 11:05, we're going to switch gears and talk a little Sharks hockey because the Sharks have given me life during this Kings season. The Sharks are fun. So Brody Brazil is going to join us at 11:05 to talk about that, Kayla, which I'm excited about.
I'm like off my seat right now because even when I was in Nashville, we were the home of the Titans and the Vols, and so we couldn't really talk about the Nashville Predators ever.
They're incredible.
But I mean, to talk hockey again, and you're exactly right, because they're doing well. San Jose is like on a little mini run.
Yep.
And they're really young still. So the hockey fiends, and they're in the chat once in a while. I see you. I hear you. We're going to talk some hockey for you.
There were a couple of years, or at least a year, where the Nashville Predators they had like the best home ice advantage in the league.
It was 2017.
Yeah.
Right when I got there. And did you ever watch any of that?
I followed it, but I've never been. Did you see the
streets? Like they were like during like the whole playoff run, like it was just Broadway was blocked
packed.
off.
I just remember them throwing the catfish.
And the catfish is a thing too.
I've still, shame on me, I've never been to an NHL game live.
You gotta go.
I've been told you're missing it because I love crowds, and I've heard hockey experiences in terms of crowds is one of the best things. I gotta get out to a Sharks game.
Go to the Sharks, and I love the lowering of the shark head. Yep. I'm such a Jaws fan, so I'm obsessed with sharks.
Yeah.
So I always have loved San Jose's shark
I just want to see Macklin Celebrini. But we'll talk to Brody Brazil at 11:05. Getting back to this Kings win last night, though, Kayla. Like, there's no doubt about it. Even if I'm Grumpy Gills over here that's like, don't win. Like, things are looking better. Yeah. Defensively, this team looks sharper. They're moving well. It's not a coincidence that these last 3 teams, it's not like they're tripping and falling into these wins. We're used to seeing teams come into the Golden One Center and shoot lights out from three-point range. Mm-hmm. And last night, Mike Brown's Knicks couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat from 3. They started the game 0 of 12 from 3, but they shot 19%, 8 of 41 from three-point range. The Rockets shot 23% from three-point range to start this win streak, and then in the middle, the Lakers shot 22% from three-point range. The Kings are figuring some things out on the perimeter.
I agree. And you can always say, oh, okay, the Knicks in particular, we're talking about last night, is they were just off. They had an off night of shooting. They weren't shooting right. I heard Katie Christensen on the broadcast say, they visited a winery while they had their 4-day stay here in Northern California. But all jokes aside, you cannot take anything away from what this Kings defense is doing right now. And I think it specifically yesterday, having Precious Achiuwa, whatever was going in the back. Did someone send him a nasty letter saying, remember, we didn't want you? Well, whatever happened, I have never seen a player go off that crazily in recent history in terms of me covering a player.
It's the dictionary definition of a revenge game.
Isn't it?
Right.
So we joke about it sometimes.
And I don't think there's bad blood at all between Precious and the Knicks. But
I don't either.
There's definitely that level of, I got to show you what you're missing. I've got to show you what you lost type thing. But and I think a lot of people are naturally going to look at the 20 points that he scored and go, okay, that's a season high. Wow, what a great offensive performance for Precious Achiuwa.
Yeah.
But he had 2 steals, 2 blocks. He was flying everywhere on defense. And what I love about Precious is he did it from start to finish. Precious set the tone last night. Precious set the tone, and the entire team followed, and the Kings had the Knicks beat by the end of the first quarter.
They did. I think you always knew, even in that third quarter where there was a bit of a lull and the game slowed down just a bit, and it was like, can we just get through the third quarter, please? You still knew, like, this was going to be the Kings game. Like, they were going to get it because, like you said, you had the consistency of some of these players from start to finish. Precious Achiuwa, Demar DeRozan was fabulous in this game, like you mentioned before. And then you continue to have like that presence of a Dylan Cardwell and a Maxime Reynaud that just is helping so much inside.
Yes, you nailed that. That's exactly right. I think the two of them out there, I actually asked Doug about this before the game started. I think having those two and just a presence in the paint. Dylan Cardwell had 3 blocks last night. He's absolutely a rim protector. Max isn't yet, but he's 7'1", and he's got a big wingspan. So he's at least a big body down there that you have to worry about that can at the very least change a shot. Having those two, and this has like been a criticism of Domantas Sabonis' game, him not being a true rim protector, it allows the perimeter defense to be a little more aggressive. Doug doesn't want them to gamble necessarily, but they can be more aggressive and know that someone's back there that has their back. And we're seeing it start to really pay off.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch right now, and that's what's I'm guilty saying this because again, I want them to really be able to have one of these lottery picks, but it is weird. It's like, at what point did they just decide, like, this is the basketball we're going to play? Because Doug's been preaching this from first to fourth quarter, finishing games, playing tough D, especially in the fourth quarter. And there's always been, and I heard you say this, and you actually asked a question to Precious Achiuwa about this, there's always been one quarter, specifically the third or fourth quarter, where they completely just let it go.
Yes.
Let the lead go. They stop playing hard. And they have not done that in the past few games.
Yeah, 12 straight quarters where they haven't had their lull. And in all 3 of these games, they've built leads and then kept those teams at arm's length, which is what good teams typically do. Yeah. And we have not been able to see the Kings do that for a long time. You want to hear from Precious Achiuwa?
Let's hear. I love him. By the way, I loved his outfit last night.
He's great. He's just NBA players. It's like a requirement, especially if you're on Russell Westbrook's team.
If
you're on Westbrook's team, you have to have some sort of style. Well, here's Precious Achiuwa talking about playing against his former team.
I don't think it's extra motivation. I just think it's continuing to build on the success we've had in the last couple of games. Just continuing to carry that over, and just go out there, play hard, play the right way. And that was the result.
We'll sneak a couple more in here before we have to go to break. Here's Precious Achiuwa talking about the defense.
I mean, defense is something that I can hang my hat on any time of any day, any night. A lot of guys around the league talk about defense. I put myself up there with the best of them. Being able to guard point guards all the way through centers. This games if you look at the last 10 games or so, I've guarded pretty much every primary assignment has been every position from point guards to centers. So that I was guarding primarily point guards. Last game, Kevin Durant, you go back, the list goes on. But it's just something that, I think I'm up there with the best of them in the league and just continuing to get better in that position.
Well, before we go to break, how about Doug Christie talks a little bit about how great Precious Achiuwa was?
I mean, first, actually, to be honest with you, he was locked in on the defensive end because he was accepting an assignment in JB that is a huge one. I mean, he's, MVP candidate, all the different things that come along with Jalen Brunson. So the ability for him to be willing and ready to step into that, I think that it locks him in. He was aggressive downhill, driving, making sure that he was getting to the basket. He doesn't, there's not a selfish bone in his body. So, he's a willing passer. But the biggest thing on here is the 14 rebounds, 6 of them on the offensive end, and just grown man basketball all around.
We've got so much Kings to talk today. We still have more from the Kings win last night to talk about the Mike Brown element of last night's game, to talk about what Sam Amick said on the morning show. We can talk more also about the Malik Monk report that I put out there this morning, but we're going to take a quick break. from the Kings talk, because in the next segment, this is still the first week as a show, and we're still getting to know each other. And Kayla has an interesting question to both me and Kyle, and of course you have to answer it yourself, to help us get to know each other a little bit more. Oh, the audience, of course, too. That's coming up next on Sactown Sports.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes. Upgrade and save today at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
At Sierra Pacific, your home's comfort comes first. Need fast heating or plumbing you can trust? Our skilled, friendly technicians are ready when you need them. Save 10% on heating or plumbing repairs this winter season. Get a heating system tune-up for just $79. Call today or visit SierraPacificHome.com. Legendary service and craftsmanship since 1984.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. We've got more tackle. Grab deep discounts on a huge selection of fishing gear, apparel, and accessories at the giant Fisherman's Warehouse booth. NorCal's largest gathering for anglers, hunters, and off-roading enthusiasts. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If the power goes out in the middle of winter, do you have a way to stay warm? If not, you need the Vesta off-grid space heater from My Patriot Supply. It's compact, safe to use indoors, and best of all, it doesn't need electricity. Right now, you can get a free Vesta and other bonus gifts when you order the Winter Survival Kit from My Patriot Supply. Just go to MyPatriotSupply.com to see everything included. That's MyPatriotSupply.com.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Oh, we got a busy day today. Why? Because it's Kaminga Day. Happy Kaminga Day to all who celebrate. Yes. For those of you who don't know, that does not guarantee a Jonathan Kaminga trade today, and certainly doesn't guarantee a Kaminga trade to the Sacramento Kings. But today, January 15th, it's the day that Kaminga is eligible to be traded. And he's demanded a trade. Who cares?
So it's going to happen, right, Matt? You're telling us it's happening today.
It's got to happen. Hey, get the cameras at the airport. Kaminga's going to make a surprise landing. He's actually coming here to the 1140 studios to announce the trade with us, right? That's right. I'm making all these promises that I cannot back up and not follow through on.
You were on the phone in the break with his agent,
yeah.
You know, because his agent's like, what can we do just to get him out of here?
We're on a first name basis. He calls me Maddie. Yeah, we're tight like
you call him Aaron T.
I just call him my guy. What's up, my guy?
What's up, my guy?
I don't know. That's what people say when they don't know your name.
That's fair. For me, if I ever call, and I will wear this. And Kings fans, if you ever come up to me and you say like, if I ever call you Buddy, I have no clue what your name is. Buddy is my tell. Okay. If I'm like, hey, Buddy. No idea.
This is very funny because I think the first time we met, you hit me with a buddy.
What's up, buddy? Hey.
Oh, no.
Carl?
You know, it's weird for girls, though, because I it takes me a minute to remember names. I will admit that. But I am one of those like, hey, girl. Like, and it's not because I forgot your name.
That's just your
But it's kind of like a friendly, like, what's up, girl? You know?
For me, it's boss. Like when I call you boss, it's a term of endearment. Like it's like if I call you, so like at the grocery store, if someone's bagging my groceries, hey, thanks, boss.
Sure.
Like I call everybody
It's
boss
like
is like respectful. I'm also the person, and I've learned to get away from this, but in media forever, I would call coaches coach instead of their first name, because to me it was like that's the title.
We might need to talk about this one day.
But they're not coach to you, Matt. But
I do it.
We do the same thing.
I do the coach
To me, it's
thing.
respectful.
It's respectful, and guess what? Then you don't. The only thing you can't use that in, guys, is the skippers. Like you can't call a manager for a MLB team coach. You have to call them Skip or their first name. You cannot call them coach. It's actually disrespectful.
It's so funny that
Did I teach you something new today?
I don't know if I've ever. I'm thinking. Did I ever call Mark Kotze coach? did I ever
Now
piss
a
him
high
off?
school coach you can.
Yeah.
And even a college coach, that's kind of treading the line a little. I never did it. I would just call them by their first name, or I'd say, hey, Skip. But by far, MLB, do not call them coach.
I feel like I haven't called Kotze coach because Kotze would absolutely say something.
I think he would say something to
Well,
you.
isn't that just the manager? Because it's a coach if you're a position coach or
like a hitting coach. Yeah, it's just the manager.
Just the manager.
Just the manager.
See, now I'm going through my memory bank, making sure I never
Now
called
Matt's
him.
like, shoot, did I screw up at some point? But
I
you
also-
know what? You make one mistake and you know.
I also learned yesterday that our amazing engineer Brian
Yeah.
here does not like being called boss, or he's our chief engineer. But if you call him chief, he might fight you.
Okay, so that's good to note.
but-
I don't want to make him mad.
Just call him Brian.
Again, part of me there's a horrible side of my brain. Just like when Kayla told me a couple days ago that she has a button, and once you press that button, she'll kill you. There is a part of me that's just like, but what does it look like? That's like putting a red button in front of me and going, don't touch it, Matt. I'm like, oh, but I want to. What happens?
The red button just says chief.
Yeah, the chief. Yeah, don't push. What is that red button you can buy? And it's like from the office.
Staples. That was easy.
Yeah, the Staples one.
We had one in my the TV studios at ABC 10. I would press it all the time. Every time I walked past it.
It's like, don't push this button.
That's why Dave has this thing.
Yes.
Which I don't know why.
Isn't there a cowbell back there somewhere too?
There is. There's a cowbell back there.
Everything back here, you guys. What's the freaking the wood thing?
So that's a train whistle, but Dave puts his
Oh,
mouth on that, and
good.
I'm not doing that.
There's
Where does he get this stuff?
It's actually better than it used to be. There used to just be DeMarcus Cousins' shoe was randomly sitting back there.
We've got things back here, y'all. Hold on. We've got things.
Yeah.
So we got a cardboard cutout here of one
Levine.
Zachary Levine. Let's see. This one's kind of
That's
sad.
actually
We've got
hilarious, though.
De'Aaron and Domas Beam brothers.
Who painted that?
That is our friend Bobby in promotions made
Bobby's
that.
we
It's
love
actually great.
Bobby. We love Bobby.
I love that.
What else we got? We got our boy Malik.
Oh, Malik Monk.
Is he going to be traded? Is he not? Domas is going and then we have Domas also
Another
going So yeah.
A lot of screaming Domas.
Welcome to our
A
studios.
lot of cool things in here.
All right, we are getting to know each other as we put the show together, and we're already almost through the first week, and I've had a blast, Kayla. I'm not
It's
going to
been
lie to you.
so much fun.
I've had a blast, and the support from everybody has been wonderful as we start this new journey. But we've been getting to know each other and also getting to know the audience over this time. Now, every Monday we have the Q&K segment, which you brought over, which I'm really excited about. But the other days during this segment, we've been doing like a getting to know you, just this one question that one of the three of us comes up with that just lets us get to know about each other. Exactly. Kyle asked the question yesterday. I asked the question the first day. You have the question today, which is?
So you can make this sports related because I know there's some things that are sports related to this question, but I'm almost encouraging you guys to think out of the box. Maybe when you were a kiddo, or maybe it's something now that relates to this. My question is, what was something you did or currently collect, or I'll take this, have an obsession with, and how did it come about?
Kyle, do you want to go first since we never give you time because
I know.
me and I'm awful?
Except for the one time you did yesterday and I gave you no time.
That's true. The Ledbetter Law offices yesterday? Yes.
Yes. So when I was a kid, I was a big, I wore hats a lot. And so it was my goal to get baseball hats from all 30 teams. I think I made it to about 17 or 18.
Okay.
But
Really?
Yeah.
Do you still have them?
I do still have every single one. They don't all fit me anymore, but I have every hat.
Follow-up question. Why in baseball is it socially acceptable to wear hats of the teams that you don't support? Because that's only a baseball
Thank you.
thing.
That's such a great question. But you know what? I fall into the category.
Do you? Because you'll never find me ever wearing an Angels hat because it matches the red shirt that I'm wearing. I must be a weird, and I also hate those split caps that we used to see at the Babe Ruth Series. Half is just, those are terrible too.
Or the pink cats that have nothing to do with the team color.
Oh, I've got a lot of those.
Oh,
You
see,
do?
the off-color hats for your team though, that's how I get away with it. It's like, well, I can't always wear green and gold everywhere, so maybe if there's like an army green one, I can wear it with my
You guys
olive
are funny.
shirt.
I can't hate though.
I mean, shockingly, my outfits are ridiculous colors. So as a kid, I wanted to buy hats that were. I have like a orange New York Yankees hat and just like random stuff. So that was my thing as a kid. I don't really collect stuff anymore. I'm actually kind of like a minimalist. Like if I get a new shirt, another shirt has to go out type of situation.
I should be that way.
I know.
I have way too many ties. I need to get rid of my ties.
You got to get rid of some of those.
The one obsession that I thought of though is I have one playlist on Spotify. It is 2,500 songs. It only makes sense to me. It is insane organization and category, and I will move stuff around. That is my like crazy obsession. Only I understand my Spotify playlist.
I am the exact same way. Since I started using Spotify in college over like around a decade ago, I've had one starred playlist that has just the hodgepodge of every song that I like. And if I ever turn that thing on shuffle mode, your brain will break. Because
That's crazy.
I take you all over the place, man. Like that
because you're building. You just keep building on
and
it.
I have other playlists, like here's a workout playlist or whatever.
Sure.
But my favorite songs only go in starred, and you go on a journey because you never know what song's going to come up next.
Like
so I'm with you. By the way, Kyle's style is phenomenal, and I guarantee you it's Russell Westbrook
so
approved.
great. I love his style.
Russ would
Color
love Kyle's
coordinating,
style.
totally up my
Kyle's
alley.
pants are phenomenal. He just has this amazing array of pants that Russell Westbrook 100% would wear every single pair of those.
We were trying at some point to get me to stand in front of the Kings style thing that they take the pictures for the drip check. We're trying to make that happen.
We got to get there. We got to get there in the drip hallway where they enter. All right, my two obsessions, real quick, Kayla. I won't spend too much time on them because someone will give me a wedgie and put me stuff me into a locker. Everybody knows the obsession that I have with the Lord of the Rings. I have a full arm tattoo of the map from the Lord of the Rings,
Correct.
and I don't know. I fell in love with Lord of the Rings when I was a kid. I watched the first movie at my uncle's house, and it's amazing. By the way, they're back in theaters for the 25th anniversary. My best friend, who's also a Lord of the Rings nerd, he and I are going and seeing.
Did you pre-order?
We're going on Saturday to watch some of the Lord of the Rings.
Good seats
so
for that.
very excited about that. I also went in San Francisco last year, and my wife took me to see the Lord of the Rings with a live orchestra.
What?
If you've never seen a movie that you like with a live orchestra, it's the most magical experience ever. Like, people will see it with the Avengers or Pirates of the Caribbean or anything. If your favorite movie has like an amazing score, if you can see it with a live orchestra, like it is one of the coolest experiences ever. I highly encourage that. That's one of my obsessions. The other obsession is Dungeons and Dragons.
Of course.
I'm a dork. I like to roll dice.
I mean, we all have our weird parts of us, right?
And yours?
Well, mine is more of my childhood. I don't have much that I collect now, but my childhood, I loved those freaking troll dolls, and
the ones with the weird poof
yes
hair? Whoa.
I collected the heck out of these troll dolls, and I'm so embarrassed to say this now, but because I love you guys so much, I'm going to just air out my dirty laundry and my embarrassing moments of collecting troll dolls. But then I also collected with my brother. We're 5 years apart, but we were obsessed with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So we collected all the action figurines of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So much so that like our neighbor would just buy them for us because he knew that we loved them. And so he'd like see a figurine and he'd be like, hey, I got one for you today. And we're like, oh, yes. So that was awesome. And then the weirdest one, guys, the weirdest one that I wish I never gave away, I collected Birkenstocks.
Ooh.
Why?
Because they were such a thing for me, like in a part of, what was it, maybe middle school, that I collected them. I barely wore them. Now Birkenstocks are back. And just to throw on a pair to go to run errands or like go take the dog on a walk, I just wish I had those. But yet I just gave them away, wasted all that money.
Well, hopefully you still have the action figures because those might be worth something one day. You remember Beanie Babies?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have way too many of those.
You do too. Oh, you have Beanie Babies.
I have a whole box in my closet. There is also a demonically possessed Furby somewhere in my garage. That those Furbies, they're evil. I will not hear otherwise. Those things.
You need to get rid of that
I
thing.
walked into my garage at my mom's house a few years ago. Haven't seen that Furby in years, and it turned on. And I was like, nope.
Okay, no.
Nope. Get out of my house, Satan.
Nope.
All right, well, when we come back, we're switching gears to hockey for a little bit. We're talking with Brody Brazil from NBC about the San Jose Sharks, which if you're not familiar with the Sharks, they're in a phenomenal story in sports right now. And if you don't know who Macklin Celebrini is, you need to. And then we're talking a little bit of some 49er football, too. Fred Warner's practicing, and he looks great. We'll talk about it coming up next.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The other guys must think you failed math. Get this huge discount. Then the fine print hits you with $5,200 in mandatory ads. It's adorable in a scammy kind of way. At Hoblet, we skip the tricks. The price you see is the price you actually pay. What a wild concept, huh? Hoblet, family owned 77 years. Experience the difference online at hobletdodge.com.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing live DJs, Mechanical Bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITBfest.com.
Guys, if your energy is low, your strength isn't what it used to be, or your drive feels off, it's not just getting older. For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Sacramento, you can start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation so you get real answers about your testosterone levels and overall health. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. This isn't guesswork or one-size-fits-all treatment. Revive specializes in personalized, closely monitored testosterone care designed to help men feel stronger, sharper, and more like themselves again. With over 120,000 patients treated since 2011, Revive Men's Health is trusted for results, not hype. If you've been putting this off, now is the time to act. Claim your free T-check and consultation and see if you qualify for 25% off TRT this month only. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
Business moves fast, and so do we. At Bank of Marin, we team up with businesses in the greater Sacramento area to help you drive the lane and score big. With dedicated relationship bankers and local decision-making, we help you move quickly, whether you're upgrading equipment, buying your next building, streamlining cash flow, or fueling growth. From expansion to investment, we're ready to help you win. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, Toyota. Let's go places.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
What you don't hear is when Kyle plays instrumentals for rejoiners, Kayla and I know the actual words.
We do.
So we're basically doing karaoke in here before we turn the mics on.
Which we're going to do at some point.
We do need to do a karaoke night. So you claim you'll beat all of us, which I don't.
Get one drink in me and then I'm not shy.
Yeah, I think Whitey will put up a good fight. I can sing decently well.
Yeah.
I have a musical theater background.
We might have to do a duet then.
But I still think you're better than me. But
you have a
Whitey's
musical
really
background.
good. Whitey's really good.
Why don't we know about that, by the way? I think that is something where I should have known that he was really musically gifted.
He just
Whitey's
gifted at everything.
Yeah,
Whitey's good at everything that he does. You know who's really good at what he does is someone that I've been watching, and I don't want to age you too much, Brody Brazil, but I've been watching you do whether it was A's games, now Sharks games, your entire career. I've been paying very, very close attention over there on NBC Sports with all the stuff that you've done. For years, you were magnificent on pre and post game with the A's. Now you are with the Sharks at the perfect time, my man. This team is one of the most fun teams, if not the most fun team in hockey. Here in Sacramento, with how bad the Kings are, Brody, it's giving us life to watch Macklin Celebrini and the Sharks reemerge as that fun young team that has a tremendous future ahead of them. Brody Brazil from NBC Sports joins us right now. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, Brody. How much fun are you having just watching these Sharks and talking about these Sharks on a daily basis?
Hey, Matt, I appreciate being on. What is this, your first week of the new show, by the way? Congrats to you and Kayla. That's
Thank
awesome.
you, Brody. Thank you, my friend.
Hey, now, you guys replaced Carmichael Dave. Please tell me that's what happened here, right?
Dave's still in the morning.
He's
we
gone?
can't get rid of him. He's
man.
He's got like the deed to the building. We just can't
He
evict
does.
him.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of him. I am a fanatic of him.
Oh.
So, no, I knew that. I was just kidding. But no, congrats to you guys on the new show, and thanks for having me on. Yeah, I mean, the A's departure, my old job with NBC, that was quite the thing. But to jump in working now for the Sharks and at the perfect time, I think with sports we see the timeline of a team that's strong and in the playoffs for a lot of years, and then you pay the price for winning so much because you traded some draft picks and you had some long contracts. So the Sharks literally had to tear it down. Actually, in reverse, all of this kind of did happen during a fortunate time like the pandemic and not a lot of people attending not a lot of sports games. So it would have been rough if they were contending for a Stanley Cup during those years. But now starting to see the fruits of the labor of the trades and the contracts and the high draft picks. And, Macklin Celebrini is front and center. I know we'll probably talk about him too, but it's just been amazing to watch a team that probably was bound to make the playoffs next year, but as of right now, this moment, they're in a wild card spot, maybe like a 40-something% chance, they say, of making the postseason. So it's just a team arriving ahead of schedule. I know you've seen this before with the Kings, but it's fun to have that first kind of look at this type season.
Brody Brazil, he covers the San Jose Sharks, joining us on Matt and Kayla. So you talked a little bit about Celebrini, and it's just been a really great year from him, right? He's third in points right now with 70. I think he's got 24 goals this season. He's kind of set the tone for this team. How has everything kind of rallied around him?
He's just he's a playmaker by nature. And so at one recent point, he was a part of 50% of the team of the goals that the team had scored. Right. So to your point, he's not scoring all the goals, but either a primary or a secondary assist on 50% of the team's goals. Now, that's a little bit top heavy. You don't necessarily want that to sustain forever in his career. But when you watch him on the ice, I think there's two things. Number one, and we've, as covering the Sharks for a lot of years, we've been fortunate to have players like the Joe Thorntons and Patrick Marleaus and Joe Pavelskis and Brent Burnses, where you knew when it was their shift, you knew when they were on the ice. You're aware of that. But then when they get the puck, you're even more on the edge of your seat. And I'd say that is even more of a thing for Macklin. Like the awareness of when he's out there is one thing. And he's playing a ton of minutes. I think the other night he was at 24 plus minutes time on ice, which, to put into perspective, I guess, for an NBA fan, that's like, 42 minutes probably in a game. I mean, it's just, it's a lot. And it's just the ability of him to be consistent. He had 13 games in a row with a point. And he's just, it really is kind of amazing at his age, his maturity level. that he's been able to be so consistent. So, all of this is just kind of coming together. He's definitely the centerpiece, but I do think the franchise realizes that it needs to be much broader and wider than him for their long-term success.
Brody Brazil joining us. If you want to follow the San Jose Sharks in any capacity, you need to be following Brody Brazil. He has his teal talks that he does with different players and just team officials, experts around the team. So much fun to start to dive into this team. And it really feels like this is like the door is swinging wide open to where Sharks fans of old can come back, and it's new Sharks fans can start to be made because of how well this team is playing. You drew the parallel, Brody, to the Sacramento Kings a handful of seasons ago, the Beam Team year where they exploded onto the scene. Yeah. But unfortunately, that ended up being lightning in a bottle for the Kings, right? They weren't able to sustain it. In your mind, why is this Sharks team this year more than just lightning in a bottle, that they're building towards maybe being back in that Stanley Cup picture one day?
I don't mean to come across cruel here, right? But it's because De'Aaron Fox is not Macklin Celebrini, and Malik Monk is not Tyler Toffoli. The Sharks have built, and they've built this the right way. I think you can build a sports franchise for, let's just get back to the playoffs. Let's win as soon as we can. Let's cut corners. The Sharks are so loaded with youth. They're such a young team still with salary cap space. In the NHL, there's a hard cap, right? So every team is limited. There's a hard floor and a hard cap. So you really are in that window of spending. You have to do this very carefully. The Sharks had 2 first-round draft picks last year. They have 2 first-round draft picks this upcoming summer. So I feel like, the difference there is sustainability. And I think what we've seen with the Sharks is literally just the tip of the iceberg. Even like this year, some of the young prospects that have come up. Igor Chernyshov was with the Barracuda, the AHL minor league team of the Sharks, having a productive season. They call him up. He has, I want to say, points in like 5 of his first 6 games. Pavel Regenda has been another great call up for San Jose. So, they have a pipeline intact that they haven't even really fully tapped into yet, not to mention so many other young players that are in the pipeline. So I think that's the difference, is that nobody's looking at the Sharks of this season and saying, oh, well, you're lucky, and this is going to wear off, and this will be for a couple years. I think, that sometimes is a criticism of teams that are enjoying success all of a sudden. The real comment and sentiment I get from people across the league and other media, personalities is that, oh my gosh, they are scary good, and this could go on for a very long time.
Brody Brazil, kind enough to join us. We are talking San Jose Sharks. I covered the Nashville Predators for 8 years, Brody, and
all right.
One of the players recently that we were so mad about when they did this trade is goalie Yaroslav Askarov. And he is such a young stud with so much swagger for a goalie. I'm curious of your thoughts on what he could be for this organization, because clearly we have seen him in games this year.
Yeah, I hate to say this about the Preds, but they got fleeced in that deal a little bit.
Yes, they did.
But in reality, okay, so it was one of those situations where they had just signed UC Saros to an 8-year deal, right, and he was going to be their front man goalie. And so if you're Yaroslav Askarov, you're looking at it saying, well, I'm never going to get the chance here. And look, if you can move me for the right situation, please do it, because my ambition is to be that number one guy somewhere. And so they made the deal. He spent a little bit of last year up with the Sharks, most of it down with the Barracuda, also had an injury, but this is his first full season. And look, I think even this year there's been a few missteps along the way, playing the puck a few times where he probably should have stayed in goal, and a couple, nights and games that weren't his best. But he is literally having his rookie season in the NHL right now. And, it's one thing. A lot of NHL teams seem to build around their forwards and their defensemen, and it's all the skaters, and then they kind of slap in a goalie last minute. Like they let their pipeline mature, and then when they think it's their time to compete, they run out and go get a goalie that's supposed to match. I think the cool thing here is that Askey's going to get to come up with this team. His personality is, and you know this, awesome. The goalie community is a little bit weird, and just in hockey, but especially the NHL, and they don't always like doing interviews, and it's always just a tinge of awkwardness. With Askey, it's like the exact opposite. He couldn't be nicer, always smiling, always wanting to chat. So, it's super refreshing to not only have somebody with high potential, but also personality. I think that's going to go a long way for this franchise.
Brody, going back to Macklin Celebrini, 19 years old, and he's named to the Canadian national team. He'll be competing in the Winter Olympics, and he's being added on to a team that's featuring like Connor McDavid on it that just won like the Four Nations face-off tournament, right? So it's not like he's just being picked up by some squad. It's the squad, and at 19 years old, he's added to that. Can you speak from whether it's NBA terms or just whatever, how significant of a move is that for his career and what that means for him, again, at 19 years old, to be joining the elite of hockey?
Yeah. So you know who Sidney Crosby is. I'm saying that rhetorically, right? Okay, so Sidney Crosby reportedly asked the Team Canada executives if not only Macklin could be on the team, but if he could be on his line. Like,
wow.
That's hockey royalty looking at a 19-year-old and saying, I'd like the chance to play with that guy in the Olympics. So that's one piece of it. I think here's the other big takeaway. There's a tournament every year which takes place between Christmas and the first couple days of January, World Juniors. And it's an under-20 tournament sanctioned by the IIHF. And so a lot of teams and their prospects, they send their players to World Juniors because it's under 20. Macklin Celebrini is a player that was eligible to be in World Juniors this year. Now, Team Canada got a bronze. They were upset by that. But they didn't have Macklin because, he's not playing in that tournament. He's going to play in the Olympics. And obviously, the NHL is shutting down specifically for this. The league hasn't had their players go since 2014. So all the players are super excited to go over to Italy. But I think just for Macklin, the crazy part is at this age, I mean, could he be potentially in 5 different Olympics as an NHL player if he's on the team now and continues to be? And it speaks volumes. And I know we're talking here on Sacramento radio, and I don't mean to bring up Steph Curry because that's going to make a lot of people feel a lot of weird ways. But for us here, more locally in the Bay, it is very much a parallel of a player that was drafted by the Warriors in the first couple of years. They still weren't good, but you could see something there. And then all of a sudden, when he got surrounded more, and then you make a couple free agent splashes, you kind of see where this goes. And I think there's a lot of people, I'll just say in Northern California, who recognize the greats over the years of Montana, a Rice, a Ricky Henderson, a Willie Mays, a Barry Bonds. And now we're thinking, look, Macklin's 19. He's not there yet. But I think all of our instincts lead us to believe that maybe he's on that trajectory over the years and decades.
Brody, I got one more for you before we let you go. You've been so generous with your time.
Yeah.
What is not necessarily what is next, but what is needed, or is it simply just time to let this group continue to gel? Is it whether it's this off season or whatever the case may be, to add on to this team to really put them into that position? What do you think, if Sharks fans are keeping an eye out for, this is what is the missing piece, or this is what's needed, or this is what I feel the Sharks need to aggressively go for to try and get to take them to that next level? Is it simply just time?
Yeah, it's a great question. Part of it is time. The other part is patience. And look, at some point, they have not really been buyers on the market because they haven't, they've brought in complementary players to help guide their young players, but eventually, and they've got the room to do this, eventually, I think they're going to make a move, probably not this year's trade deadline, but maybe next year's trade deadline, and get the, oh my goodness, I can't believe we just landed that guy type situation. So I do think there has to be a little bit of that, but yeah, you're right. It's the pipeline, it's time. I would say the other aspect about this season is that people would be pleasantly surprised if they made the playoffs. That's nice in perspective, but what just being in a playoff series could do for this group, right? It would, and even hypothetically, and I'm not here to paint this picture because, I don't like to say, get into the playoffs and lose your first round, but at least you had a taste of it. But quite honestly, it sounds like a not fun scenario, but it would be a huge beneficial scenario for those players who are going to be on the team next year and many years beyond to just get a taste of that, what it's like to be in the playoffs. Let them sit on that across the summer. Let them digest that. Let them go into next season kind of with the bar already set. So again, I've always said that this year and next year were kind of the 2-year plan to get back and to, go from being a 32nd last place team in the league to being a playoff team. And if they're going to go from, that to playoffs in 1 year, definitely ahead of schedule, but I just think if they can do it, no matter what, I think a lot of people are satisfied with the trajectory of this team, but it would go a long way to have that experience.
Brody, I'm telling you, when I say the Sharks are giving Kings fans life, it's not just me saying it. I mean, you should see some media screens at Kings games on our laptops. We'll have the Sharkscapes on. I can look around the ring of suites in the Golden One Center and see the Sharks on every once in a while when the Kings are playing at the same time. So this young team has been so much fun, and you're doing an unbelievable job over there covering them. I hope for your sake and all of our sakes that the tank continues to rock over there and that we can see this team get back to that Stanley Cup picture that they were, it feels like not too long ago, that they were in. So thank you for making the time. We'd love to have you back on the show very, very soon, but keep up the fantastic work.
Let me just say my favorite Kings days were Bibby and C-Web and Vlade and Peja. I've paid attention to all those years. It's been a while, but that's those golden days. That's kind of how we're starting to feel maybe the start of that here. So I appreciate the recognition, the time, and the opportunity. And congrats on the show. Thanks for having me on the first week.
Thank you, Brody. It won't be the last time. Let's hope this is the golden era for the Sharks because they're so much fun. Man, Brody is amazing to make the time for us. Check out his Teal Talks, too. He does such amazing interviews. Great. And the amount of, the amount of personality that's on that Sharks team, too. Not only are they good, but they're fun.
That is what I fell in love in terms of hockey with when I started to cover these teams. Sometimes you would have a team like that where the personality just, it kind of just spills over and it's addicting to go in and cover these guys. Hockey players are weird. They're weird. So it is kind of fun when you have a team like this you want to rally behind.
Well, there's a big personality that's back on the field, the practice field for the San Francisco 49ers as we switch gears to Niners football. Have you seen the videos? Well, I know you have, Kayla, because we've watched them together. Yeah. Nick Wagner put out videos on social media of Fred Warner practicing yesterday. Now, these are more individual drills. It's with the team and with like the linebackers that he's going through drills. He's fired up. He's spry. He's moving well. He's bouncy. He just looks fantastic. Now, one, they're not allowed to record. I've been to Niners practices a couple times. When they actually get through, get to walkthroughs and full 11 on 11, you can't record that. It doesn't sound like he participated in that. That's like full practice. I don't believe he's participated in that. But great job by Kyle here. You can see if you're watching on YouTube the videos that we're talking about.
We're trying something new, so hopefully it doesn't sound awful.
It looks great. He looks fantastic, Kayla.
He
does.
I
don't think he's coming back. I don't think he's playing on Saturday in Seattle. Mm-hmm. But seeing this video and reading that headline of potentially back for the NFC Championship game, it doesn't seem far-fetched to me at all.
I mean, I don't care if he's back or not this weekend. Well, I kind of do because I'm a Seahawks fan. All right, I'm being selfish here. But this is so good to see.
Yeah.
Fred Warner is not only a staple, a heartbeat for this 49ers team and has been for a long time. He is really for the league, and he's an example for so many young players or players have learned under him and gone other places. I mentioned Aziz Al-Shaair, who have learned kind of how to play like a guy like him and carry it somewhere else. He is somebody who needs to be playing the game, and we're not done with him yet. He's got time left, but to see him come back potentially in time for the playoffs, I agree with you. I don't think that he'll play this weekend. Individual drills are interesting. I've covered a lot of these in my career. To see him moving like this is phenomenal. But that's not necessarily, seeing him on 11 on 11, 7 on 7, those type of situations yet. But I do believe if they win this weekend, I think Fred Warner has a great chance of coming and playing in that game.
You know football and have covered football way more in depth than I have. So tell me if this is a totally dumb idea.
Shoot it.
Or an impossible scenario. What if Fred Warner is active for Saturday, but you essentially have him on the sidelines, you don't play him, you don't protect him. But if your season comes down to the Niners are up by 3 and Darnold has to go 80 yards to win the game, put Fred Warner out there, maybe just give him a few snaps, see how it looks, and get the captain of your defense out there to maybe that hurts you, I don't know. But is that a wild, impossible scenario?
I mean, I've seen crazier things happen. So you obviously have to make a decision because his practice window opens, right? So you have to make a decision on if you're going to bring him up to the 53-man roster. And I believe that has to happen by Saturday to make a movement like that. The tricky things in the playoffs, especially, is you don't want to waste any roster spots for something that you don't know is going to happen.
Good point.
Right? So that's the one thing that I would say. I don't know if Kyle Shanahan would do something like that, because who knows if another spot goes down and then they don't have that player in terms of depth.
Right.
And they already have had so many players go down. But if they firmly believe like he's ready to go, I think then they'd just play him.
Yeah.
But
You're probably
hey,
right.
you're not. I mean, you got to ask those types of questions, because with a guy like him, you want to try to get him out there.
I know, I understand. It's like, I had this debate with a lot of people during the NBA Finals earlier or last year when Tyrese Halliburton played, because it was the NBA Finals. He played through the hamstring injury with the risk of of tearing his Achilles, and then we saw what happened. And I argued at the time that the team or the league or someone needed to step in and protect him from himself. And people are going, Matt, you're crazy.
No, you're
it's
not.
the NBA Finals. You're crazy. It's the pinnacle of basketball. He has to play, but it could take years off his career. He might never be the same. So if your back's against the wall at the end of a playoff game, I understand. Like the team might want to go, just put him out there. But if there's any chance beyond reasonable chance, if there's like significant chance of any sort of re-injury or he's truly not fully ready yet, you don't ever do this.
No.
But if he could potentially go and you want to just hold him just in case, I wouldn't hate it if I was the Niners.
If they're comfortable with with their roster and saying that, we have room to do this, then might as well. That's why I don't have to worry about it, because I'm not Shanahan, and I trust that, Shanahan is a heck of a coach. We all know that. We've talked about it the past, month or so, how great of a coaching job that he's done. He's going to make the ultimate right decision. I wish we were saying this last week that his practice window opened. I always want to see the best football played. I don't really care. I am a Seahawks fan, but I want to see the best football and the best players out there playing each other. That's what we should always want. So I would love to see him in that game.
Well, speaking of the best players, the Seahawks, in my mind, have the best receiver this season.
JSN, baby.
Yeah, Jackson Smith-Njigba has been incredible, and I'm not just saying that because he carried me in fantasy this year. But the Niners might have themselves a JSN stopper. So Coach Yak, who is a great follow on social media covering football, he put out some numbers of stats when Diamador Lenore, cornerback for the Niners, covers Jackson Smith-Njigba when they line up against each other. In 2023, in their two games, Week 12 and Week 14, in Week 12, he allowed just 34 yards, no touchdowns. In Week 14, only 7 yards allowed and one pass broken up, 0 touchdowns. In 2024, so last season, in Week 6, 19 yards around, one pass broken up, 0 touchdowns. Week 11, 50 yards allowed, no touchdowns. This season, in both Week 1 and Week 18, when Diamador Lenore has guarded Smith-Njigba, 0 yards allowed, 0 touchdowns in both games.
What a fascinating stat.
Now, Smith-Njigba doesn't always line up on
that
against
side.
Lenore on that side. But if you're the Niners, do you consider saying,
Dang.
Lenore, your job is to follow that man around?
I mean, why not? Honestly, and I know it goes a lot. The defensive plan goes a lot deeper than, just put him on that side. Yeah, you can't just do that and say,
Robert Saleh's game plan is get him.
Sack him. Intercept him. But here's the thing. 2 interceptions on the season for Lenore, right? And by the way, player up in Pacific Northwest, he's an Oregon player, was like a 5th round pick. So they're getting a lot out of him this season. But those numbers in particular are fascinating. I'd say you got to do everything you can, because JSN is the problem for the 49ers in terms of offense. Yes, the run game is also something you have to somewhat slow down, because that's what got him in the last game. But if you completely shut that, if you shut down the run game, well, then you still got JSN out there running around. So it's going to be interesting to try to silence both of them. You're not going to be able to do that. But if you could slow him down just a bit, Lenore seems to have the most success doing that.
Well, you've talked about this as a Seahawks fan. You have doubts about Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I do.
So I have a question related to that about Smith and Jigba that I want to ask you on the other side. Plus, we have a couple of callers on hold. Mitch and TC are on hold. We're going to get to both of you when we come back. And we got news last night. John Harbaugh found a new home. He's going to New York, technically New Jersey. We'll talk about that coming up next on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
Happy Thursday. I'm Ophelia Young in the KCRA3 Weather Center. The morning is cool, but your afternoon will be quite warm as temperatures work their way to highs in the upper 60s under sunny skies with a light breeze. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, you can drive a 2025 Accord Hybrid Sport and enjoy a tradition begun with the first Accord in 1976. Ask about the least you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Sometimes you need country music. Next time you have that feeling, check out New Country 105.1 KNCI, where you have 4 opportunities each weekday to win $1,000 and double your paycheck. New Country for Sacramento, 105.1 KNCI.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Join Sactown Sports downtown before every Kings game and pick up an In-Shape Fitness Kings Rally Towel while supplies last. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back to Matt and Kayla. 10 to 2, Sactown Sports, bridging the gap between the familiar faces or voices here on this radio station. Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross in the morning, and they had a great conversation with Sam Amick, which we'll talk more about later on in the show. Don't worry, we'll get back to Kings talk, these Malik Monk rumors, the report that I put out earlier, what Sam had to say on Jonathan Kaminga Day. That's all coming still. And then, of course, we're getting you ready for Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles, the Drive guys. I'm sure they're going to have plenty to talk about on this day. And who knows, maybe the Kaminga trade will happen today. Maybe it won't. We will wait and see. But we're going to carry over the conversation that we were having in the last segment over to start this segment really quick, Kayla. And TC, Mitch, hold on. I'll get to both of you in just a second. But we were talking about Smith and Jigba, Jackson Smith and Jigba, and how amazing he is for the Seattle Seahawks. But Diamador Lador has been really, really good defensively against Smith and Jigba. And you hear every once in a while, especially in basketball, you hear these game plans of either let this guy beat you but don't let anybody else beat you, or take that guy away and force everybody else to beat you.
Yeah.
And when it comes to Jackson Smith and Jigba, I think like just trying to make his life as difficult as possible. Hot take, Matt. Making him struggle is probably going to make it worse for the Seahawks. But I wanted to ask you, because you have your hesitations, your reservations, your concerns about Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
And Smith and Jigba is really Sam Darnold's bailout. Like, I need a first down, I need yards, I'm going to JSN. How big of a deal, how big of a game changer would it be if it is Diamador Lenore that continues to clamp up JSN, or Robert Saleh hyper-focuses on him and slowing him down? How much does that cut out the knees from underneath Darnold and impact the Seahawks' chances?
It does. And I say this because when you are, somebody who's game planning, especially for a playoff game, the first thing is you can't shut down everything, right? Mm-hmm. You can't shut down the run game completely. You can't shut down, Jackson Smith and Jigba completely when it comes to the Seahawks right now. So what you have to do is, in my eyes, identify the one thing that you really think can hurt you. And I think right now the run game, technically, if you look at what the Seahawks have done in the past few games, their run game has been what has allowed them to win games. What worries me about that, though, is that if Sam Darnold and JSN start off hot in this one, because the Niners are like, okay, we're going to just worry about, containing the run game, then JSN is going to get hot. Yeah. And when JSN gets hot, it is hard to slow that guy down.
And then opens everything else up.
And it opens everything else up. So I don't think it is stupid by any means to be like, first and foremost, we need to try to at least contain JSN. You're never going to completely shut down someone. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. I can't say never. But that should be the primary focus, because I feel like if they don't do that and they ignore that part of it, he's going to cook. He just, that's what he's going to do. It's what he's done this season if you can't contain him.
Well, we'll see if the Diamador Lenore clamps can hold true here during the playoffs. But let's go to the phone lines really quick before we switch gears to John Harbaugh and his new job in New York City. We got Mitchell on the line. What's up, Mitchell? How are you?
How you guys doing?
It's Good. Mitch from New Jersey. I knew it was
you. Long time, man, Matt.
How are you, brother?
Are still bad. Good. We're better than the Raiders, that's for sure. And I think the Kings are faster Raiders. But congratulations to both. And I know you have a young baby, man. I just had another grandson 3 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
So, you blink and it's over, like my dad and mom used to say.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Mitch, what do you want to talk about? What's going on, man?
I know. I work myself up, wake up there. I think it's Purdy. When they're both in the games, I think Purdy is just a little better than Sam. A big USC guy here.
Mm-hmm.
But both have good running games, and I think Robinson, I thought he'd be much better.
Oh, really?
Huh.
Sometimes can we put McCaffrey sometimes at wide receiver?
He has been.
They basically are using him.
Yeah, he did get 1,000 yards. I hope he's still great, but I think he's still being running for the MVP. But I think Drake is going to get it. Anyway, thanks for letting score. It's going to be a great game. I think it's 49ers and Rams.
49ers and Rams. He's calling his shot. Both the Bears and the Seahawks are losing. Mitch, thank you so much for the call. We move on now, of course, in these airwaves. You know him. It's TC, the one and only TC. You want to talk a little Mike Brown there, TC?
Hey, yeah. So, look, check it out. First of all, Kayla and Matt, what's up?
What's up, TC?
Hey, just vibing. So I want to give respect to Vivek, right, bro? Right. I also got a little special part in my heart with Vivek. That's why when I get on here, I understand when everybody be like, sell and get on him. But I would always never forget when that guy put up that money, bro, to keep this team here, and I would never forget that. No matter how you want to put it, no matter how you want to shake it, he did it. So, and I'm always have respect for that dude. Also, I'm going to have respect for him to get up and go over there and do the unthinkable that everybody think that he wasn't going to do. Right? He went over there and had respect. Whatever he said to Mike, he went over there and talked to him, right? Because we could be getting on here this morning talking about, Vivek wasn't in the building. He was in the building, but he didn't even talk to Mike. He didn't even have enough respect to do that. That man got up and had enough respect to walk over there to Mike, a guy that he fired, and talk to him, bro.
I actually completely agree
Yeah.
with TC, and thanks so much, TC, for the call. I think he's spot on. I made the same note. I said good on Vivek Ranadive for doing that. He, of course, didn't have to do that. And, of course, Mike would have had every right to blow him off. But we know Mike ultimately takes the high road. He was never going to do that. But I think it was fair to question, like, it's pretty awkward. Will Vivek go over and do it? He did it, and it was the right thing to do, right? Go over there and have a conversation. You don't have to apologize. I have no idea what was said, if it was an apology, whatever.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Bygones be bygones. Even though the Kings beat the Knicks last night, Mike Brown's in a much better situation. The Kings are in the situation that they're in. I think Vivek is probably aware that it was the wrong decision to fire him.
Right.
But the problem was the way that Mike was fired, with Vivek doing it while he was on vacation. They do it over the phone after making him run practice and talk to the media before he boards a plane. Like, it was just an ugly, ugly way for the Kings to fire Mike Brown. Regardless, that could have held animosity, that could have held awkwardness, and like TC talks about, Vivek walks over right before the game starts and spends about 30 seconds with him. And I don't think, like, a lot of people, it was a publicity stunt. I don't think so. Like, the cameras caught him. They were candid cameras. He tried to sneak it in really quickly, like at the end of warm-ups before everything started. Didn't make it a big deal. Didn't have cameras follow him. The camera that caught him was from, like, up on the concourse. People were just watching
From
Mike
far away.
and realized, oh, there he is. He's going towards Mike.
Sure.
So I do give credit to Vivek. Doesn't excuse the decision, but I give credit to Vivek for doing that, doing the right thing, stepping up and talking to him. But we'll talk more about Mike Brown's bad night and his bad return to Sacramento as the Kings beat the you-know-what out of the Knicks. But we're talking a little football right now, because while that beatdown was going on in the Golden One Center, the news broke that John Harbaugh has found his new home. We knew he wasn't going to be unemployed for long after almost 2 decades with the Baltimore Ravens. He's now heading to New York City. He's going to coach Jackson Dart, our boy Cam Skattebo.
I know,
and
Skattebo.
the Gigantes. What do you think of that move?
Yeah, I'm not surprised, guys. I mean, selfishly, I wanted him to go to Nashville to help revive that organization because I just want Cam Ward to succeed. But it makes sense, right? I knew that if he went to New York first, he probably wasn't going to leave the building without some sort of a idea of him coming there.
Yeah.
And if you're the New York Giants, you're stupid if you had him leave the building with
They pushed
out of contract.
real hard, it sounded like.
Yeah, and it's reported, because nothing's official yet, but Adam Schefter is reporting that it's a 5-year deal. It's a lot of money. I can't remember the exact numbers. It made $100 million. Yeah, there we go. It makes
Chump change,
sense.
nothing.
Yeah, chump change. You know,
I got that in a week.
Give me $25 million, John. But it makes sense, guys. It makes sense for the fact that he believes, obviously enough, in a young Jackson Dart, that he believes that they have enough weapons. Let's not forget Malik Neighbors is coming back. Malik Neighbors was by far, to start the season, one of, if not the most sensational wide receiver. It's unfortunate he had the injury that he did, but he's got him coming back. You've got to protect guys like Skattebo and Jackson Dart. You got to find a way to help them protect themselves, because that's
tough with
go.
Skattebo.
I know, and Dart too. But then you look on the defensive side. I think they have he's a defensive-minded coach. They have some really good defensive pieces. Obviously, with Brian Burns and the young, I'm spacing it right now. Why am I spacing it? Their draft pick this past season, Abdul Carter. Thank you. Those are really good building blocks, and I think he thinks, it's New York. It has a name to it. I'm going to bring him back to relevance. It explains why he takes the job.
Real quick, because we're up against it, but I want to get your answer to this really quickly. Was it the best job? Like, do you think out of all of them, is it the most ideal job for him?
Yeah.
Is it like that one or the Steelers?
I honestly think the Steelers would have been a good fit, but I almost think they have too much they've got to fix there. They don't have their young quarterback yet.
Yeah.
I'm truly not trying to be biased, but I thought maybe the Titans, for the fact that they have their young quarterback, it seems, they've got some pieces on defense, Jeffrey Simmons in particular, but they don't have as many. But they, no sales tax in Tennessee. You're not as scrutinized there. But again, I think ego exists with coaches, and I think he wants to be the guy that fixes New York when it comes to that organization. I truly do.
We're going to talk more about that move, plus the other head coaching vacancies, because there are 8 of them left. But when we come back, we know that we want the Niners. Well,
Wait,
most
Matt,
of us.
what are we talking about?
You're a Seahawks fan. I and a lot of us here want the Niners to advance. But what AFC and NFC championship games do we think America wants, the general populace? Let's discuss that. And, of course, more Kings talk is coming right here on Sactown Sports.
Listen to the number one sports lineup in Sacramento.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Matt George, and Kayla Anderson. The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
Every weekday live and local 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Online at SactownSports.com or download the app right on your phone. Your number one source for all your Northern California sports. Sactown Sports 1140.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes. Upgrade and save today at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to start strong, so you can give everything you've got. From plate-loaded strength equipment and functional training areas to treadmills, stair climbers, and free weights. Our equipment is best in class, and our clubs are right around the corner, so you can go all in. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Deal extended through January 16th. Don't miss it.
See club for details.
Get as loud as you can for Monster Jam! The one and only Monster Jam. Packed with stunts, smiles, and jaw-dropping skills. See the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks. Like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. Only at Monster Jam. Coming to Golden One Center January 23rd through 25th. Brought to you by BKT Tires. Savings available on select opening night tickets.
Right now at Elk Grove Honda, you can lease the 2025 Accord Hybrid Sport Sedan for only $39.99 down, including first payment due at lease inception, excluding tax and license. 35 monthly payments of $299 plus tax, license, and zero security deposit on approved credit. Mileage in excess of $10,000 per year at 20 cents per mile. It really is the least you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Guys, feeling low energy or low drive? It could be low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health, start with a free T-check and consultation. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off TRT. Book now at ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply, must medically qualify.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
In 15 minutes, it'll be noon. And noon on this show means lunch break. And lunch break is a segment where you can call in. And if you want to talk the Kings game last night, Mike Brown's return, Jonathan Kaminga Day, the Malik Monk report that I put out there, whether you think it's posturing by the Kings or you think the Kings have changed their minds on moving on from Malik Monk, we can talk about it. You can call in 339-1140, 800-920-1140. That is the next segment, though. And you can even call in and answer the question that we're about to talk about here. Matt George, Kayla Anderson, and Kyle Ledbetter. Guys, we all believe that, or at least Kayla, you and I believe, that the Niners-Seahawks game is the best game of the weekend.
Yeah.
And Steve Weish, who we had on earlier in the week, seems to agree with us from the NFL Network because he's going to be out there at that game. But what NFC and AFC Championship games do we think America wants? We know ratings are king, and for the most part, people are going to watch no matter what.
Sure.
But if we're talking about the game that gets the most ratings, the most interest, let's start with the NFC since we know our Niners and your Seahawks are in it.
Okay.
What matchup do we think America wants the most in the NFC? Kyle, you feel pretty strongly that America wants to see the Bears there, right?
Well, if it has to be the Bears or the Rams, I think everyone is agreeing, yes, we would rather see the Bears.
Even with the LA market.
Does the LA market thing even exist? Because, every time the Rams play at home, they never have a full crowd.
Because the Rams have never really been LA's team.
Well, I think also LA has gone so long without having the NFL that I don't think it is. It's like people in LA are going to watch football, but it's not like they have any. Their lives have existed without football for so long.
I think it's hands down the Bears.
Yeah.
As one of the teams. It has historical relevance in terms of they've been starving for success for so long to get back to being the Bears team that, we hear about from way before I was, knowing football.
Da Bears.
Da Bears. And so I think, not just Chicago fans, but it's interesting to even fans that aren't, Bears fans, because you're like, wow, can they do it? And by the way, can it be Caleb Williams, which some people, including myself, had a lot of doubt about coming out of USC and kind of some of the antics that, he comes out of USC having. It kind of made him, for some people, an easy player to not like.
Yep.
So it is interesting. By the way, first year with Ben Johnson. So can a guy like that who's an OC and now is given the chance to be head coach, can he do it in 1 year? So I think there's so many intriguing storylines around the Bears and the historical relevance of it. So that's why I would say Bears before the Rams.
Yeah. So in terms of Bears opponent, though, two separate questions and the answer might be the same. Between the Niners and the Seahawks, who gives the Bears a better game and who is most likely, who's more intriguing, or who's America more interested in matching up against them? It's two very different questions because the Seahawks might play the Bears better, but America might be more intrigued by Bears versus Niners with Fred Warner's return and the resiliency of the Niners versus the young gun Bears. I don't know.
Yeah.
To me,
it's a fair question.
It might be Seahawks to the answer of both questions, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I'll make an argument the other way.
Okay.
Me being, someone who watches both teams very closely with the Seahawks and the Niners, I say, yeah, okay, the Seahawks are having success this year under second-year coach Mike McDonald. That's definitely a thing that people could get behind. Do they have some good players? Yeah, JSN. He's definitely, him around the country. But Sam Darnold, I don't think people are like, oh, Sam Darnold, I got to watch Sam Darnold. Not like Caleb Williams. The 49ers, this is crazy season.
Yep.
It's a historical franchise who has come up short. I mean, they've got a polarizing type of thing about them because they have so much success, but they've actually not been able to capitalize on it recently. You would add in the storylines of, whoa, what if they did it with all these injured bodies? I almost think people would be more interested if they could actually play the game to that level with the Bears to see the Niners.
Well, we had Niners versus Bears in Week 17, which was an offensive shootout between those teams. We know offenses excite people. 42-38 was the final score of that game. So no matter who wins between the Seahawks and the Niners, if it's the Bears who indeed advance, are the Bears the underdog no matter what?
Well, no, I think the Bears would be favored against the Niners.
Yeah, I do too.
Because it would be in Chicago, too.
Yep.
Okay.
But
against the Seahawks, though, no.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks would absolutely be the favorites.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So the Niners then suddenly become the underdog story.
Yep.
Which I guess that's a position. It's so weird, though, to be the underdog story against a first-time playoff quarterback and a young team and a first-time head coach in the Bears. It just doesn't feel like they can be the underdog, or they can't be the underdog.
Sure, because you would think if they had all their pieces, they definitely wouldn't be. But that's what is so intriguing about this NFL season and why it continues to be intriguing and why I truly feel like these playoff numbers, now we'll see what happens in the Super Bowl with the two teams that make it there. But the playoffs happening this weekend, I'm interested in the numbers, honestly, because there are so many what ifs or could there be an upset? I think it's fascinating watching like what's going on right now.
Is the consensus then for the show 49ers Bears? That's what America wants?
So. This is funny that we're concluding this because I think the best football game would be Rams Seahawks. But if America is picking what they want, they might pick 49ers Bears.
I think the most interesting, that because of the health of the teams, I think Bears Seahawks would be really good.
Mm-hmm.
But the Niners storyline, I just selfishly, because we talk Niners, it's fun to see it keep going.
So what about in the AFC, though, right? You have, is it Bills Patriots? Like, what is the AFC matchup that you would most gravitate towards? Because we have no really horse in those races. Who would you gravitate most towards in terms of the matchup?
I see what you did there. Horse in the race because it's Broncos.
Oh, because the Broncos?
Nice.
The Broncos bore me.
I hate the Broncos.
I'm sorry. The defense is spectacular. Don't get me wrong. Bo Nix is still, like, the jury's out still on Bo Nix and what he can do, especially, like, in the playoffs. I'm interested to see, like, how he gets his cage rattled, right? He doesn't have a lot of experience when it comes to that. The Bills, for the fact that they just want to see, can it get done? The window keeps closing. I don't know if it's completely closed yet. No, probably not. But Josh Allen is a figure of, football right now and quarterback. Like you talk about Josh Allen. He's fun to watch. Are they the best Bills team we've seen? No, not in the last 6 years. No way. But I think Bills and Patriots are who they are. You can hate it all you want. But what Mike Vrabel has done has been pretty sensational. Drake May, all of that. So I think maybe countrywide, that's what people would want. I could be wrong, though.
I'm going to continue to just disrespect the Houston Texans. Like,
I know, I keep on forgetting about them.
Yeah, they do this every year.
I don't care. And I'm trying, I gotta find reasons to, because I like D'Amico Ryans. We love D'Amico Ryans. But, if we got, a Broncos-Texans AFC Championship game, I'm taking a nap.
I don't want to see it.
Well, first 1 to 3 points wins. Mm-hmm. I don't care.
My theory on the Texans is that, because they've been the same team every year. They get to the divisional round, they lose to a top seed. But I think the difference now is that they used to be C.J. Stroud does fun things and they score a lot of points, and now it's they score no points, but they give up no points. So it's not even that they're the same team. It's that now they're boring and the same team.
See, I'm not going to pretend to speak for America, Matt George, voice of America, but I do think a lot of people, the general football fan, agrees with me. I need the Bills to make it to the next round. I need a potentially good offense to make it to the next round, to beat some of these intense defenses.
You need big names, too.
And this, the storyline is, can Josh Allen finally get it done now that Patrick Mahomes isn't standing in his way?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why I'm rooting for him to lose.
Well, because you're awful. I need the Bills in the next round. To have peak interest, I need Buffalo in the next round. And that's not just because I hate the Broncos.
I think it'd be great just having a Josh Allen, a veteran quarterback, and a Drake May, a very young quarterback, inexperienced. Because, again, a lot of this goes back to who does the best coaching job. Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting.
I also feel like Josh Allen and the Bills are the best chance the AFC has of actually winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I feel like any of the other 3 teams, I think the NFC wins it.
Even the Broncos?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't trust the
sold
Broncos.
on them.
I don't trust the Broncos. Defensively, they're really good. And
but then we might as well put Houston.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Which defense is the goodest?
Well, I guess that was my argument for the Patriots yesterday. Is they have the best unit left in the AFC. The Patriots offense is the best unit. So maybe Patriots offense gives the best shot to go to the Super Bowl.
And
maybe
what's better, the Patriots offense as a whole, or the MVP, or former MVP, I should say, in Josh Allen putting the offense on his back for 2 more games?
I mean, the storyline is more compelling, but I guess where I disagree is this is how stories get built. I've seen people posting that if Bo Nix wins on, I can't remember if it's Saturday or Sunday, but if he wins, he will be joining Tim Tebow as the only drafted Broncos quarterbacks to win a playoff game, which is very funny given the Broncos' history of great quarterbacks.
I don't care.
I cannot stand Tim Tebow. Sorry. Sorry, Tebow lovers.
It is. I guess it's an interesting note.
It is interesting, though. But I think I expected just a little bit more out of Knicks this season than what we've gotten. Again, they are not being talked about a lot either. We talk about the Texans. That's kind of Broncos, too. I don't feel like we're talking a ton about them either. But, again, I'm not a believer in Bo Nix quite yet. he's got to show it in the playoffs.
So my answer is Bills-Pats.
Mine too.
Okay, and?
America's pick is Bills-Pats. Selfishly, it's Pats-Broncos.
Okay.
One, I want Josh Allen to lose, and two, my friend from school plays for the Broncos.
As long as that's pretty cool.
That's very
As
cool.
long as we don't have Broncos-Texans, I'm okay.
Yeah, I think save us from that.
Yeah, if we have
Please.
Broncos-Texans, I swear I'm getting a nap in. I'm getting a nap in, and when we come on the show next week and go, let's break down that game, I'm like, I got nothing.
Yeah, that's not going to be fun.
Or well, I should say the NFC Championship game or AFC Championship game. I got nothing. Well, we got plenty coming up for you. Coming up in the next segment as we start the second half of the show. It's lunch break, and we're getting back into Kings talk. It's Jonathan Kaminga Day. Sam Amick was on the air earlier with Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross. He had some interesting things to say. We'll play that audio for you. And I put that report out, that note about Malik Monk and the Kings kind of changing their stance a little bit on Malik Monk. That's coming up. We'll revisit that, and I want to hear your thoughts on that. Coming up in the second half of the show right here on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey there, it's Mark and Tom, the travel and entertainment guys, brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations. Time for our weekly travel tip, and with it, here's Mark Hoffman.
When should I book my travel? That question has become harder to answer as we get smarter technology. Airlines and hotels can literally make changes to pricing on a daily or even hourly basis. An air ticket isn't always refundable, so if the price goes down, buying a second ticket is problematic. Hotel reservations are generally cancelable, so if you find a better deal, you don't have a penalty unless you bought at a lower non-refundable room rate. Beware of those. When to book has become problematical, but checking pricing after you book, especially for airlines and hotels, makes you a smarter traveler. Generally book airlines 6 to 8 weeks out, a little further for the holidays if you can. The hotel sweet spot is about the same. Most important thing to remember, dynamic pricing means prices move around a lot more than they used to.
More tips to make you a smarter traveler, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
You ever notice how the other guys scream about massive discounts on their Dodge, Chrysler, or Jeep Ram vehicles? Then you get to the fine print and boom, another $5,200 in mandatory ads. At Hoblet, we don't insult your intelligence. The price you see is the price you pay. No mystery add-ons, no bait and switch, no gotcha when you sit down to buy. Hoblet, family owned for 77 years. Transparency, straightforward pricing. Buy it right, buy it at Hoblet.
Hey, WHDK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports 1140.
Coming to you live on the national holiday known as Kaminga Day.
I was going to say, did I miss a holiday?
Nope. It is now.
Don't we usually get holidays off? So, Matt, we're done. We're done for
All
the
right,
night. Oh,
see ya.
Backing up the laptop. It's Kaminga Day.
No, we got to talk about Jonathan Kaminga.
It's like a holiday because we got to talk about it.
January 15th, the day Jonathan Kaminga is eligible to be traded. And what did he do? He went to the Warriors. He woke up this morning and said, hey, trade me. I demand it. And they said, Kay.
Cool.
We've known.
Sweet. What else do you want us to do?
That's it. That's all we got.
You want us to just give you, yep, this is where you're going.
Yep. Well,
here's your papers.
Again, we're going to play some audio for you in just a second from Sam Amick on with Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross this morning because he added some very interesting context to the Jonathan Kaminga sweepstakes, I suppose. Answered a few questions about that. And, are there teams that are interested? And are there any other teams that are more than interested other than the Sacramento Kings, right? Do the Kings really have any sort of competition? But I also wanted to reset what I reported right before the beginning of the show, right before the show started this morning. Jonathan Kaminga has been connected to the Kings for the last almost a year, really since the summertime. We know the Kings have been interested. They've been very interested. And Scott Perry very clearly has made Malik Monk available in talks, not just for Jonathan Kaminga. Malik Monk was involved in potential sign and trade talks with the Detroit Pistons for Dennis Schröder during the summertime. Really, since Scott Perry took over, it's like Malik Monk's available. And now I personally believe, as we talked about earlier, every player on this roster should be available for the right price because this team's terrible. Even the young guys, even Keegan Murray, who I love to death. But it seemed like the Kings were really like, Malik is available. We are putting him out there. We're including him in these talks. And I got this note this morning, again, interesting timing, on Jonathan Kaminga Day. I get this note this morning that says that I put it out there on X, at Matt George Sack on Twitter. I hate calling it X. As of now, things have changed. A source tells me that the Kings are comfortable with keeping him and don't appear to be actively shopping him at this time. You and I discussed this earlier, Kayla, about is this posturing because it feels like it? And is it effective if it is posturing? Or it could be maybe the Kings have really changed their tune. Maybe they've changed their mind. Maybe it's damage control. They don't want Malik to be upset because they feel like they're not going to be able to move him. Or I put out a hypothetical fourth option that maybe the Kings are turning their attention because they have to trade a veteran guard. Maybe they're turning their attention to trying to trade Dennis Schröder. I'm very curious what people feel about it. If they want to call in, this is the time. It's the lunch break segment, 916-339-1140, 800-920-1140. If you want to talk about that, the Malik Monk report that I put out there, you want to talk about Jonathan Kaminga and whether or not you think the Kings will actually go out and get him, if you even want to go out and get him, you want to talk about the Kings being on this win streak. How are you handling the Kings winning three straight?
That's what I'm curious of.
While also, I'm like, no, lose games.
Yeah.
But I hate that I feel that way. So I'm very curious how people feel about that. But let's really quickly, Kayla, if you're okay with it, let's listen to what some of the things that Sam Amick had to say this morning on this Jonathan Kaminga Day. Kyle, if you're ready to go with that. First off, Sam talked about just any updates that he had heard on Kaminga's situation and that the Sacramento Kings are keeping an eye out for a third team in order to facilitate a deal.
They continue. I mean, it's weird, and this is very King-centric. I mean, for now, it really feels like the Kings are kind of not their only hope. They're talking to other teams, but the level of interest with the Kings, on the one hand, has been fairly high, but then, the willingness, like we talked about last week, to give up the type of stuff that they offered in the summer is not there. The price tag has gone down, but the Kings are, in their talks with other teams, are keeping an eye out for a potential third team to do this Kaminga deal with the Warriors. And the Warriors don't want any money beyond this season coming back. So we'll see if they can find an answer there. Beyond that, I mean, it's like interest, but nobody coming real aggressively for him. The Lakers, which we wrote about today and confirmed, and then the Mavericks we've written about in the past, but that was kind of in passing during Anthony Davis discussions. So, yeah, no clear outcome here.
That answer from Sam Amick is all I needed from that conversation, because there's so much there. The Kings are looking for a third team to facilitate this deal. Initially, when I was listening to this interview, this was before I got the note about Monk, which made me think, okay, they're looking for a third team to essentially take Malik Monk so that they could absorb Kaminga. But the real meat and potatoes of this, Kayla, is that other teams are interested, or there's interest, but what he says there, he's like, I don't want to say the Kings are the only hope for a trade for the Warriors, but it sounds like it's the Kings and that are legit, and then it's everybody else.
And the big question is like, I feel like each team is waiting on, okay, you make the, no, you have to give me this. No,
Yep.
It's like, what's the Spider-Man meme?
Just
like,
pointing at each other? It's just posturing.
Like, who's going to make the move first?
Right.
And it's funny because this has been going on for so long.
Since the summer.
It's like, okay, somebody already, like, just make the move. But again, we're dealing with owners. We're dealing with, GMs that they're set in their ways. They don't want to make the first move. And what's interesting about Kaminga, though, and where he's at and the relationship and all the weirdness and awkwardness that may be going on because he's not really playing. It's like, so if that is the decision we're not going to do it unless we get a first rounder, which clearly the Kings, maybe in the summer, were willing to do that. They're probably not, according to Sam Amick, willing to give something like a first rounder up. You're just going to keep him there. You're just going to, how is that helping you either?
Yeah, you have two front offices that are just playing chicken.
That's exactly
with
what
each
it
other.
is.
But here's the thing. One of these front offices is on a time constraint.
Yeah.
And that's the Warriors.
Yeah.
Like, the Kings want Jonathan Kaminga. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They do. But they don't need Jonathan Kaminga.
No.
The Warriors need to find a way to move Kaminga to do what they ultimately signed him to do, which is use his money to go out and get something that can help them win or increase their ability to win right now for Steph Curry and one last run.
Mm-hmm.
So the Warriors have that. They're on the clock, at least in that sense. And the Kings aren't. So Perry can sit comfortably in this position that, I'm not including the first round pick that I felt like over the summer because times have changed. The price has changed. You don't have any interest still. And I know my team is terrible and draft picks are very important to the future of my organization right now. So I don't have to do this. So Perry can sit comfortably in his power position and the Warriors can posture all they want, like, oh, fine, then we'll just hold on to Kaminga, no big deal. Like, there was this, so this came out from Shams today.
Yes.
I would love to hear your thoughts on this.
Please read this.
The Warriors decision makers have also given zero assurances to any team that Kaminga will be traded prior to the deadline, despite the desires and dynamics at play, believing it could prove better business to push the decision to the summer. Rival executives said they believe that the stance is a bluff, and Kaminga will be moved. Yes, it's a bluff. Warriors, everybody knows what position you're in. Stop playing this game, and if you make a deal with the Kings or find something else. But stop pretending like you're just jolly fine bringing him back when all we heard of all summer long was we're signing him to this specific deal so that we can move him at the deadline.
It's been a disaster over there. I mean, as great as an organization, that they've been in the past several years and, winning championships and everything, this has been a blunder.
Yeah, big time.
It's been a blunder, and it doesn't look good on the organization right now. So if I were doing business, I'd have to let down my ego a little bit, like decrease it just a little bit to just get him out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like the more we talk about Kaminga still being there and just not making some sort of a trade, you're probably not going to get exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You've decreased his value. Then they're going to it's just going to be having this conversation.
Just
and they're
twiddling
going to
our
keep
thumbs.
having egg on their face.
We're
I
just
do
twiddling our
not
thumbs.
understand it.
They don't have to trade Kaminga today.
They don't have to do it today.
But February 5th is a trade deadline, so you're
Correct.
You're running out of time. You got a few weeks to try and figure this out, and maybe someone else swoops in.
Yeah.
But, Kayla, I'm curious your opinion on this. Then we'll go to the phones. If it was another team that had the same amount of interest as the Kings, would this deal be done right now? And the reason I ask that is we know Joe Lacob, who's the owner of the Warriors, likes Kaminga. And I have a feeling Joe Lacob is a very, very proud man.
Yeah.
And I would understand completely if there's a hesitation to send Kaminga up Highway 80 and then he turns up, or I-80, I should say, and he turns into something great here in Sacramento. You got to play him 4 times a year, and he went to your neighbor. Like, I think this deal's probably done if it's not the Kings and if it's another team.
I don't think you're wrong there, because we even talked about this a little before I came on this show, obviously, and I was filling in for, I think, Alan, and Kyle was on the show, right? And that got brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really a thing? Is that really a thing? It's absolutely a thing. Just the minds of these owners, the minds of these general managers, they just think different. And when you are that close and you are just right up the road, and if you have to see that actually turn into success when you miserably failed, whether it be on Kaminga a little or on the Warriors a little for why this all didn't work out, that is hard to swallow in terms of a pill to swallow.
Yep.
So I think it has a little, it's not all of it, obviously. But yeah, in the back of my mind, it has to be a little bit of it.
Shocking. Pride and ego is involved.
Right?
Shocking. Hey, I can't say I do any.
Never heard of that.
I can't say I do any different if I'm being completely honest with you. Well, this is the lunch break segment, which is your segment to call in if you want to weigh in on the Jonathan Kaminga conversation, or like Jason, you want to talk about Malik Monk. Jason, what's up, my friend? Welcome in.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Always a pleasure, man. What's going on?
Hey, not too much. Just the way these players are getting paid today, it just makes it extra harder for deals to get done.
Yep.
Right? If you look at years past, when it came to the trade deadlines, a lot of people were getting moved left and right. But nowadays, teams are getting a lot more cautious around what kind of contracts they want to take on. And so that's what I think what the holdup is. Literally everyone in Sacramento is waiting on the news, anxiously waiting on what's going to happen. But just the way these contracts are structured, it adds another element to what's going to happen. And honestly, a lot of teams are asking for that first-round draft pick.
Yep.
They're trying to mimic the OKC, the other kind of models out there where they're going young. And so, I honestly think Warriors, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Yeah.
And so you really know what you're getting in Monk. I would love to keep Monk personally. Like, that guy's always been the backbone of Sacramento. He loves Sacramento, has embraced it since day one. And so it would be really hard to leave and see him let go. But I honestly just think just the way that contracts are structured today, you're not going to see a lot of deals happen.
Jason, thank you so much for the call.
Great call.
Carmichael Dave echoed the same thing this morning when he was talking to Sam. He talked about, like, it feels like we evaluate players less about their talent now in a trade conversation and just more about what their price tag is, like how much money they're making. And it feels like you're, what do they call that? Because I'm not a financial person. Like managing the books more than you're managing a basketball team or managing athletic talent. And that's kind of where the CBA has gotten us to with this apron system that I think needs to be completely changed or reevaluated when the time comes, because I think the apron system in theory was good and has just become more detrimental than anything else. But Jason, obviously talking about Malik Monk there, even with the report that I put out that the Kings are in theory changing their tune or are more comfortable or very comfortable to stick with Malik and are not shopping him actively right now, regardless of if that's posturing or not, maybe they're 100% truthful. But Kayla, if the Warriors called the Kings right now and said, fine, Malik and whatever, no draft pick for Jonathan Kaminga, you're not convincing me that the Kings would not say yes right now.
There's no way. I mean, the ultimate goal is still to move pieces. And until you move that first piece, I feel like it's just going to be like we're going to sit here and be waiting and waiting and waiting. You have to move it. It doesn't matter who. And you even brought up everybody's on the table. Like, I don't think any of these younger guys are going anywhere. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I am saying, hands down, as much as I don't want to see Malik Monk go, a lot of fans don't either, you better believe it that if they got a phone call from any team right now that would give them something to kind of just start the movement, they would do it.
Yeah. I believe wholeheartedly the Kings are not shopping Keegan Murray. I believe wholeheartedly the Kings are not shopping Nick Clifford and Maxime Reynaud. If you're telling me Malik is in that same category where now he's joined them on the no shopping list, I don't believe that.
He's not all the way over there yet.
Right.
And I don't think he will
They're
be.
not including him in every trade conversation
Correct.
since the beginning of time, like it felt like they had since the summer. Okay, maybe I believe that. Maybe
Sure.
they're changing their tune on that a little bit. But Malik has not suddenly gone into untouchable mode because he's had a good couple of games here with Dennis Schröder being out with a suspension. By the way, we'll talk about Dennis Schröder a little bit later on in the show because he's available to play tomorrow versus the Wizards. He's back from his suspension.
I guess you should be happy because maybe it changes the way their dynamic is.
Maybe,
and they don't
but
win games.
But I don't want to see the Kings just say, "All right, Malik, you're done playing. You're not playing anymore because Dennis Schroeder's back." Like, or maybe that's a good thing because maybe it helps them lose more games. I don't know.
You just want whatever it takes to lose.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
Lose,
Jeez,
but let
Matt.
your young guys play and be entertaining while you do it. Right? Like, is that too much to ask? Yes, but I'm doing it anyway.
It's very hard to ask.
I'm doing
It's
it.
a very specific ask.
Yeah, it is definitely a very specific ask. Again, if you want to weigh in on this Jonathan Kaminga stuff, you can. 339-1140, 800-920-1140. Weigh in on my report about Malik Monk. You can do that as well. But NBA TV, right, is talking about a lot about Jonathan Kaminga. NBA Today, I should say, talking a lot about this Jonathan Kaminga situation. And Kyle is kind enough to cut us sound of Brian Windhorst. Talking about Kaminga. Also, I guess Anthony Slater has an update as well. Kyle, fire away.
Brian Melton.
All right, here's Brian Windhorst.
Doing here, leading off the signature show of the NBA, talking about a player who hasn't played for a month, who's having the worst shooting season of his career, playing for a team that self-described as mediocre. Jimmy Butler called the team mediocre the other day, and he wasn't wrong. Steve Kerr recently called the team a fading dynasty, and he wasn't wrong. What are we doing here? If he had had an offer last summer from another team, he would have signed an offer sheet. He didn't have an offer sheet. A pox on both of their houses. I've had enough of this. This is not a significant thing. Just move on. I can't take it anymore. We've seen Anthony Slater go through 4 seasons in his backyard talking about this story, about a guy who is not a significant. Shams and Slater reported 2 weeks ago he had a chance to play, and he said, "I got a back injury."
Is Brian okay?
Are
and
you
two,
okay, Brian?
is Brian in my comment section on my podcast? Because a lot of people in the comment section are saying the exact same thing. Why are we talking about this so much?
Right. Because what?
Because I've been strapped to the watch.
First of all, it's local, right? But they're talking about it nationally.
Right.
That is how less of a market is out there right now in terms of the trade market because there's nothing being talked about. Ja Morant, I think that's even a stretch. We'll get into that later. There's nothing going on right now.
Yeah.
We saw Trae Young get traded.
For nothing, by the way.
And now we're still holding on to because this seems like this is the one other piece that may go. Well, it doesn't really seem like it's going anywhere according to the Golden State Warriors.
This is
crazy.
I know that the Warriors are probably exhausted by this whole saga. Well, guess what, Warriors? So are the rest of the league.
Everyone is.
Like
Brian,
the rest of the league is over this. You have one legitimate suitor that since the summertime has been trying to work with you. And I know that the Kings trade packages are not the most ideal, perfect scenarios for you. But guess what? We are long past the point where you are ever going to get a perfect or ideal scenario because of a position that you put yourselves in. So look, you don't have to listen to Kings honk over here on Sacramento Sports Radio saying, make the trade, because there's obviously purple-tinted lenses over here. But you have the rest of the entire league, guys on national television like Brian Windhorst, just saying, move on, get it done. And the Kings are really the only team right now that's willing to get it done. So you got a few weeks to figure this out. And if Jonathan Kaminga is still on the Warriors after the trade deadline, that the name is going on the blocked list or the muted words list on social media. Because at that point, the entire league's just like, Warriors, you're so unserious. We're just not going to play with you anymore.
Again, I said this just a second ago. The Warriors are making themselves look stupid. And that is something I haven't been able to say in a while because they've had so much success. Talk in the chat had said this too about Kaminga, mentioning that he just needs a change of scenery. And in some ways, I do agree with Talk on that because I do feel like this is a nightmare on Elm Street that there's no getting out of. I don't know if you run through the haunted houses ever and you're just trying to find your way out and it seems like it's impossible.
It's just a maze, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like this whole thing has been with Golden State. It would be nice probably for Kaminga too to just say, hey, I look like I'm just like the worst guy in the world here. I'm just trying to go find some place to play basketball. I could be completely wrong on that, and he doesn't like basketball, but I do feel like if just get him to a spot and let him play some ball in a different place.
So we barely dipped our toe into the John Morant conversation yesterday. So let's dive into that a little bit too, because that's been on your radar, and you've been monitoring this situation and where Ja wants to go, and the Kings being quote unquote interested in Ja Morant. What caught your attention just about this now funny Ja Morant saga? It's not quite Jonathan Kaminga levels, but we're getting there.
So first of all, being down in Nashville, and I'm going to say this, there are not a lot of people that live in Nashville that root for the Grizzlies. There's some like weird thing between Nashville and Memphis. Mm-hmm. So Memphis is the NBA team of the state. Yep. But Nashville people don't really root for it. It's very weird. It's very weird.
There's a beef?
There's a beef.
There's Nashville-Memphis beef?
There is an absolute beef. It's 100% real.
So if you walk through Memphis and say I'm from Nashville,
it's not good.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I'm very serious about this.
Good to know.
Way more intense than like Golden State area and Sacramento.
We don't care.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Covering them from afar down there, I had a really good friend, Teresa Walker, AP writer, really great, renowned writer down there. Mm-hmm. She covers the Grizzlies. Like she travels to cover the Grizzlies. I've been kind of like asking her, what is it like on ground zero down there? You know, is it ground zero?
Yeah, I think so.
Exactly.
Sounds right. Military terms.
Yeah, exactly. Look at me talking military here. So I said, what has it been like down there? And it's funny because she gives me the same stuff. And I checked in with her this past week too. And I was like, has anything changed since you've heard that Miami might be in the mix? And she'd pretty much said like, all that Ja can do right now with really helping himself with a team really being interested is getting out and simply just playing. Mm. But what is Ja doing? Ja is bringing headlines to himself that he continues to do this when he knows if you just get out there and just play, like he's back from injury, whatever. Now he's over in Berlin. The whole conversation of is he going to play? Is he going to not? Then he has a situation with his own teammate. We've already seen it with his own coach. Now he's got his teammate that they're in an argument. I just think it's an absolute disaster, and I don't think they're going to do anything with him unless they absolutely get exactly what they want. And I don't think Miami is like throwing their hands up saying, bring Ja down here, when the Miami culture is not anything close to what Ja brings to a basketball court right now, on or off it.
Well, the good news is Ja hasn't brandished a gun in a while, so that's positive.
Have you been to Miami?
He probably shouldn't down there.
It's not the greatest environment for somebody who, needs to just reel themselves in right now. And I'm not, I'm not going to attack his character. I'm not trying to do that.
He's made it easy.
But Ja has done a lot of things, and of recent, again, to take the focus away from his play because it's on all these other things. Yep. I feel like Ja is posturing himself to go to a place like Miami because he wants to get the heck out of Memphis. Mm-hmm. The whole thing is, I think, just all fake. Like, I don't really think there's like a ton of interest from teams right now.
Well, regardless of what Ja wants, whether he wants to go to Miami or not, like I want to go to Disneyland, yay. The Memphis Grizzlies are the ones that are like, okay, even if there's clear issues, he's our franchise player, or one of them next to Jaren Jackson Jr., and we can't just give him away. Nope. And according to Sam Amick this morning, because Dave asked Sam about it, and Sam talked about like the Kings had a conversation with the Grizzlies in the last month, and Sam essentially said that the Ja Morant asking price from the Grizzlies, he said, quote, looks delusional because of the Trae Young trade. And there's no way that you want to trade a franchise player like Ja, even with all the off-court stuff. You don't want to trade him and not get like extreme significant talent or draft compensation in return. Everybody wants this draft compensation right now.
Of course they do.
But nobody wants to give it. And Trae Young got you zero draft compensation for the Atlanta Hawks. So, I mean, that's why, again, we heard this rumor earlier in the week that Scott Perry's like, yeah, we'll take Ja Morant off your hands if it's for like one protected first, DeMar DeRozan and Devin Carter.
Right.
And if I'm the Grizzlies, I'm laughing and hanging up the phone.
Sure.
And then Scott Perry and the Kings are going, all right, because we're not giving you 3 first-round picks for John Morant. And the Miami Heat sure as heck aren't.
I don't ever see. I mean, that's stupid business. And maybe there's always this. We talk about egos again. Look, it's a real thing. There's always, we can fix this guy. It's a real
someone
thing.
Believes. I can
someone
do it.
believes.
I can fix him.
So maybe because Spoelstra down there, because of the tight kind of ship that they run, maybe they believe they can fit him into that. I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot. You cannot.
Yeah, John Morant doesn't scream Heat culture to me. That's for sure. Heat culture has saved a lot of players, but the players have to be willing to be saved.
Right.
I don't know if that's John Morant. All right, we're gonna break. When we come back, our own Brendan Nunez on Sactown Sports wrote 3 trade ideas for DeMar DeRozan. Let's go through these trade ideas and see if they're good or even possible right here on Sactown Sports.
Progressive's accident response can detect and send help when you need it most after a major car accident. But other accidents, you're on your own. Like when you accidentally call your wife Mom. When you accidentally say Happy Holidays on someone's birthday. When you accidentally wave at someone you thought was waving at you. We can't help with those accidents, but Progressive's accident response provides peace of mind after major car accidents. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with Michelob Ultra and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. More info at CITVFest.com.
Award-winning guitarist and songwriter Gary Clark Jr. Tour 2026, Saturday, January 31st, 7 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. An electrifying night of music with Gary Clark Jr. Special guest, Marcus King Band. On sale at the venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Gary Clark Jr. Live.
Right now at Elk Grove Honda, you can lease a 2025 Accord Hybrid Sport Sedan for only $39.99 down, including first payment due at lease inception, excluding tax and license. 35 monthly payments of $299 plus tax, license, and 0 security deposit on approved credit. Mileage in excess of 10,000 per year at 20 cents per mile. It really is the lease you can do. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or on the web at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Sacramento's Outward playlist is Mix 96. Now with 4 opportunities each weekday to be our $1,000 Employee of the Day. Today's hits and yesterday's favorites, Mix 96.
At Sierra Pacific, your home's comfort comes first. Need fast heating or plumbing you can trust? Our skilled, friendly technicians are ready when you need them. Save 10% on heating or plumbing repairs this winter season. Get a heating system tune-up for just $79. Call today or visit SierraPacificHome.com. Legendary service and craftsmanship since 1984.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
The winter service event is on at Maida Subaru. Now is the time to let Maida Subaru get your Subaru road ready for the winter weather with exceptional savings on tires, brakes, wiper blades, and more. See all the service specials at MaidaSubaru.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
The new year is a great time for reflection, to appreciate all the good things in your life, and to prepare your resolutions, or bucket list as I like to call it. 2026 would be the perfect time to introduce someone new to the game of golf. Let them in on the fun. Or if you've never played, it's a wonderful time to start. Maybe go to a driving range, maybe take an introductory lesson. If you're an established golfer, maybe you want to get fitted for a new set of golf clubs. Maybe you want to take some refresher lessons to sharpen up your game. Consider a golf getaway, either with your significant other or a group of buddies. It's a great way to play new golf courses, eat some tasty new foods, and certainly laugh a lot with your friends. If you normally use a golf cart, consider walking with a push cart, or maybe even lightening your bag and carrying your golf clubs. Go back and play where you played your first round of golf or your all-time favorite round. Remember why you play the game and how much it means to you. Leave the course in better condition than you found it. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Matt and Kayla. Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back in. Matt and Kayla on Sactown Sports. We were just watching Bobby Marks on ESPN with the old trade machine like all of us do.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out, hey, let's walk through some potential trade scenarios where we could send Jonathan Kaminga.
By the way, it was silent. We were doing the commentary.
Right. We had no idea what he was saying, but
Yeah.
we could see the players that he picked. So naturally, first team he picks is the Kings, and he selects Kaminga, and then he goes and selects Malik Monk. And then he selects Keon Ellis, too, maybe to sweeten the pot a little bit. Talks about that. We have no idea what he said.
Yeah, nothing.
Then he goes, oh, what about another team? Goes over and clicks on the Dallas Mavericks. Selects Kaminga. Points at the list of Dallas Mavericks players. Again, we have no idea what he said.
Right.
And then closes the trade machine. Basically, you ain't getting
else.
it. Ain't happening.
Yeah.
It's the Kings or it's nothing. Warriors, figure it out. And like we've talked about, even with the report that I put out there this morning, that the Sacramento Kings are not shopping Malik Monk, are comfortable keeping him long term. I'll continue to say it till I'm blue in the face. If the Warriors called the Kings today and said, fine, we will take Monk for Kaminga and whatever filler that's needed without a first round pick being involved, I think the Kings do it in a heartbeat.
100%.
So
100%.
But we talked earlier, we are very confused as to why DeMar DeRozan doesn't have more of a market than he does. And I'm not trying to be used car salesman, like, give us something great for DeMar.
No.
I don't expect anything great in return for DeMar DeRozan. But I would expect some teams out there, contenders out there, to see the value of DeMar DeRozan and what he brings to the table. Well, our own Brendan Nunes on SactownSports.com put out an article with 3 different trades. Okay. 3 different DeMar DeRozan trades. The first one I'm already reading, and it makes me want to,
vomit in your nose.
Vomit, because we've heard it many times. Trade number 1, Kayla, I'm curious your initial thoughts on this. DeMar DeRozan to the Bucks, not Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan to the Bucks for Kyle Kuzma and Andre Jackson Jr.
Nope.
Not about it.
You don't want a power forward with an NBA championship?
Boy, if only that were the actual good way to describe Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
There's a fascination connection here with him.
Yeah.
Not with fans, I'm saying.
Yeah. He's just perpetually connected to the Sacramento Kings until the end of time.
Right. One of those players that is destined to be a king at some point.
I know.
And the longer we delay that point, a couple of years ago, you could have talked to me into be like, okay, interesting. During adding him to the Beam team as a free agent, okay, interesting.
Which in hindsight would have been a mistake.
Yeah, but okay, interesting. Now I'm like, there is no scenario in the near future when when Kyle Kuzma becomes a Sacramento King that sounds appealing or appetizing at all, unless it's the Kings traded for Kyle Kuzma and waived him. That's the only way.
Just let them waive him.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm good. So, Brendan, that's a ixnay on the first one.
Before we go on, did you guys see the video of him doing the Jennifer Hudson Spirit Tunnel this past week?
Oh, because he was on the show?
Yes.
No, I want to see that.
Did this?
Can
Yes.
you send it?
What was he wearing?
It was a relatively normal outfit.
That's crazy.
Can we get it on the screen? Or that's a no?
It might take some time.
Okay,
but
well, if not, just send it to me. But I'm interested.
It was very
now.
funny though, because they captioned it. Kyle Kuzma doesn't miss.
Okay.
And then everyone just started quote tweeting it. It was like, Jennifer, I assure you he can. This is all he does.
Very much misses. He misses quite often.
Yeah, I mean, no offense, but I don't think J-Head knows a ton about, the inner workings of basketball. I could be wrong. She could be a diehard NBA fan. But
don't know. Well, if she's an NBA fan, she should know that Kyle Kuzma is not good.
Also, don't know how Kyle Kuzma ended up on the show or what he was promoting.
That's the weirdest thing.
Like,
what are we doing here?
A couple people said no. Okay,
Exactly.
They must have had
someone.
a few no's, and they're like, fine, Kyle Kuzma wears cool clothing. Let's have him on. Kyle Kuzma is a personality, but a personality that is bad at basketball. The second trade was actually kind of 2-in-1 here with sending DeMar DeRozan home to the Los Angeles Clippers. There's two options. Option one, another guy that's been connected to the Kings for a long time. The Kings almost traded for him a couple seasons ago. John Collins.
Okay,
so
I've heard his name
straight
around.
up John Collins swap for DeMar DeRozan, athletic 4, or the return of Bogdan Bogdanovic, Kings legend, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Derek Jones Jr., and a second-round pick in 2031. I would take the John. I'd take the John Collins
one. And again, you are trying also just to make a move. You're trying to move a big piece.
Yeah.
And so John Collins is not it's not like the worst thing you could get back for that. Would the Clippers want a DeMar DeRozan? The Clippers are an older team, obviously.
It makes sense for them with how old that roster is.
Yeah, and DeMar hasn't showed that he's in a wheelchair yet.
Well, here's the thing, too, about the John Collins situation. John is on the last year of his deal.
Right.
So he's an expiring contract.
True.
So you play him for the rest of the season. If it works out, you can re-sign him. If not, you let him walk, and you're off the books. Basically, you're trading DeMar DeRozan to a team that hopefully he can help them win enough games to have a better draft pick, so OKC doesn't have a good draft pick. And you don't have to deal with the minimum $10 million guaranteed to DeMar DeRozan the next season. So
Wasn't DeMar
I would do it.
somewhat at some point tied here to the Clippers for the? Obviously there's always rumors out there.
The Clippers were when the Kings signed him.
Yeah.
The Clippers were very interested in him too.
Yeah.
And DeMar's from Compton. LA is
yes.
home.
Oh, I know.
So LA is home
LA
for
is
DeMar.
home.
So we've always thought about how do we send him home to either the Clippers or the Lakers, and the Clippers can at least offer something intriguing. So I would take the John Collins one.
Yeah.
I like Bogey, but probably not the Bogey one. And then here we go. This is titled, The Kings Finally Land Their Target. I think you can guess who it's about. It's a 3-team deal.
Oh, we're talking about Kyle Kuzma again?
3-teamer.
Yes, Kyle Kuzma to the Kings.
He's back in it.
The Heat received DeMar DeRozan,
Oh, okay.
Moses Moody, and the Warriors' 2026 first-round pick.
Okay.
The Kings get Jonathan Kaminga.
Okay.
And the Warriors get their boy back, Andrew Wiggins, back to the Bay, back to Golden State. So the Warriors are giving up Kaminga and a first-round pick to bring Andrew Wiggins back. No way in hell do I think they
wouldn't do that, but then that would be great for
hilarious
the situation here, too.
It'd be hilarious. The Warriors have to pay a first-round pick. Andrew Wiggins is a good player, and he had success with them over there. But they have to pay a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Just to get rid of Jonathan Kaminga. They also have to move Moses Moody as part of this deal.
That's not going to happen.
The first line of the explanation for this trade from Brendan, by the way, is this is a bit of a funky one. Yeah.
But I like to think about things like this. We're
different.
bored right now. There's not a lot going on right now actually happening with the trades. So it is different.
It's definitely different. I don't think there's any shot that the Warriors would ever do. If they were being this
stingy.
If
they're not doing a simple thing.
There's no way they're
with Sacramento,
including draft picks and Moses Moody to get Andrew Wiggins. But I like the idea, Brendan. Brendan Nunez, friend of the
Brendan.
show. We got to have Brendan on the show here very soon. But we do have Brendan's colleague, Chris Watkins, coming up in about half an hour or so. A little less than half an hour. Chris at 1:05 will join us. I'm sure he'll talk some Kings with us, but Chris was at the Cal Duke game. He got to see Cam Boozer in person. And I know we have a lot of Cam Boozer fans here in Sacramento, so he'll give us the scouting report on Cam Boozer. That's coming up a little bit later on. We have some people not calling the show, but in our comment section saying, hey, let's talk a little bit more about John Harbaugh. So we were going to talk about BYU retiring Jimmer's jersey and the Hornets retiring Del Curry's jersey, but let's dive back into the John Harbaugh stuff because we didn't have a lot of time to talk about that. So more on John Harbaugh taking the New York Giants job and the other 8 vacancies that are out there. And then Chris Watkins joins us to start the final hour of the show. It's all coming up on Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Just once a year, NorCal's largest gathering for anglers, hunters, boaters, RVers, and off-roading enthusiasts. Buy the latest gear, discover the best destinations. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CRV, HRV, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes. Upgrade and save today at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
There are many reasons to choose Gonzalez Law Offices as a dedicated trial lawyer with an undefeated record from 2016 through 2019, and you'll know that no case is too big or too small. Due to his success, hard work, and commitment to excellence, attorney Jonathan Gonzalez has been listed in Super Lawyers Rising Stars, as well as in the top 40 under 40 list by national trial lawyers. You can find Gonzalez Law Office online at zaclegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9187.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884. This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-897-4400. That's 800-897-4400.
Sactown sports fans, when the final buzzer sounds, the real action is just getting started. If you live for big moments, big crowds, and unforgettable nights, you'll find them all right here on the Sactown Sports Live Events calendar. Get ready to laugh until it hurts with Daniel Tosh, live January 24th at the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Then turn the volume all the way up with Ernest, bringing high-energy country to Ace of Spades January 31st. Slow it down and vibe out when Jodeci delivers the classics live February 15th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Experience iconic sounds and the smooth style of Chris Isaac February 28th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. And rock legends Jefferson Starship take the stage March 15th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Comedy, concerts, legendary performances. Find every show, every date, and plan your next big night out with the Sactown Sports Live Events calendar. Play hard, rock harder, only on Sactown Sports.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Sacramento, start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 916-619-3000 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
John Harbaugh has a new home, and it's the Big Apple.
New York, New York.
I mean, technically, it's New Jersey.
I guess so.
I guess. How do you feel about that?
It's always weird.
Yeah.
But of course, they're just going to put on New York.
New Jersey just gets little brothered in this entire thing. It's like, yo, we have MetLife Stadium.
I know.
What are you talking about? Nope, it's New York.
It's New York.
Shut
Deal
up, kid.
with it.
Shut up, Jersey.
That's like saying the Niners play in Santa Clara.
Which I do. I do say the Niners play in Santa Clara because
I say that too.
It's not even close. Well, I mean, it's close, but it's not even close to San Francisco, which is why part of me is dreading the Super Bowl being down in Santa Clara this year.
You really are.
Because, look, I have friends that covered the Super Bowl in Santa Clara years ago when Levi Stadium first opened, and it was Peyton Manning and the Broncos versus Cam and the Panthers. And everything for the Super Bowl was basically in downtown San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Levi Stadium is nowhere close to that. And a lot of people were shell-shocked coming into the Bay and going, wait a minute, I have to drive how long in traffic just to get to this press conference or whatever?
Right.
So this is my old man, I guess, rant of the day. Not us. No, we got the Golden One Center right in the heart of Doco.
It's very
This
nice.
is Sacramento's team.
Yeah, you don't have to travel far.
We don't have a stadium.
Well, not anymore.
Natomas no more. We do have the A's at Sutter Health Park in West Sacramento, and before we know it, Kayla, it's going to be, pitchers and catchers reporting.
I can't wait.
Spring training right around the corner. You haven't experienced A's baseball yet in West Sacramento.
No, I'm super pumped.
So it's fun. It's a good environment.
Yeah.
Hopefully, well, it's not fun when the A's pitching or are pitching, but when they're hitting, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
There's a lot of home runs in that ballpark.
I know. I'm excited to watch some baseball. We're gonna go I'm hoping we can rally the Sactown sports crew. We can go
Get a
see
whole group
game.
out there. Lawn seats and chill on the lawn.
Exactly.
Have a little picnic out there.
Mhm.
Hopefully not get hit by a nuked line
ball or
drive
something, or line drive.
from Nick Kurtz or Tyler Soderstrom. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. But we're also looking forward to this new era of New York Giants football and this new era of John Harbaugh's coaching career. Because, I mean, he's just been Baltimore Ravens everything,
good.
right? So long in Baltimore, so much success. And expecting him to just have the same kind of timeline with the New York Giants, unless that man just coaches until like the end, that's a lot to ask. But the Giants have had a lot of instability at their coaching position for a long time. It makes perfect sense for them. Hey, let's go out and get John Harbaugh, and who's one of the best. Give him an exciting few young pieces to work with. The Giants will have a good pick in this year's draft too. There's pieces there for them to build. I don't expect Harbaugh to turn it around right away, although we saw it with the Bears. But
you never know.
It's a good spot for him to be.
I think so too, Matt. And I always get grumpy because I see these big markets always grabbing the best things. And again, some of these big markets or traditional markets in terms of football that get these coaches, well, there's several reasons for that. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers have an opening, and that's not a big market per se, but that is a very traditional brand.
Yep.
And where they treat people very well there, the Rooneys, the owners there, because you can see they've had pretty much no coaches in amount of like 30, 40 plus years because they just stay there forever. But I think with Harbaugh especially, a guy that has had so much success in Baltimore, and yes, it wasn't the greatest year, but he is definitely was the golden nugget in this coaching search because I don't think Tomlin is going to coach this year. It's crazy to think in the last two seasons, the New York Giants were 7-27.
Yep.
So the first thing they're thinking is who's the hot, coach on the market that can actually bring some stability here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's John Harbaugh by a mile. But what does John Harbaugh see in that job? Well, he sees, obviously, New York, and the money comes along with it.
Yeah, that helps.
And there's no way that you don't look at the money. You do. I'd like to say that's not everything, but it's part of it. It's a market that obviously has a lot of tradition with the Giants that has not been brought back to relevancy in quite some time. And I think with these coaches, especially Harbaugh, he's in his early 60s. He's thinking, where's the next place where I could really put my stamp in not only the team but the league, and go out with a lot of pride. And I think it's there because they did have such great success there at one point, and New York Giants, it's a name we know, but they've got pieces there. You mentioned it. They got Jackson Dart. They got Cam Scattaboo. They got Brian Burns, and I'm always why do I keep blanking Abdul Carter on defense? That's how much I didn't want him at the Titans. I'm like, I just skip over his name all the time. But in all seriousness, they do Malik Neighbors. They have building blocks already there. And I think Harbaugh says, I can work with this.
It felt like the Giants and the Steelers were the two, I guess, best jobs that were available for Harbaugh to choose between. When we were talking to Steve Weish yesterday, he threw the Falcons into the mix as well.
I was a little surprised with that,
I was too,
Matt.
but he talked about how good of an organization it is. So maybe it was a 3-team race in that sense. I don't know if this is true at all, because ultimately money talks. But I do wonder if there was any element of, I've coached the Ravens for 18 years. I can't go to Pittsburgh. Like, that's when we talk about rivals for Baltimore. It's Pittsburgh. And how do we think Baltimore would have reacted to Harbaugh becoming the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Oh, that would be extremely interesting.
Be great TV.
I mean, when you're probably saying, okay, that's the one thing we don't really want to see happen, right? Yeah. And I think what's interesting too, by the way, Arthur Blank is the Falcons president. Sorry, I was like thinking Rooney's on that too.
You're fine. I had no idea.
But so
he's the guy with the mustache.
Yes, and he is a good owner. Let's put that out there. That is. Yeah, I think
She comes from the Titans, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
He does own the Falcons.
He's been known, I think, for treating people right for the most part. That's what we've heard, at least. So when you look at the NFC, not the NFC North right now. I'm trying to go back to your question. Sorry, I was thrown off because I was trying to find
the Steelers.
Yeah, with the Steelers specifically.
So the Steelers right now. Steelers, Ravens, Cleveland Browns. None of them have coaches.
Yep.
The only coach right now is Zach Taylor in Cincinnati, which is kind of mind-boggling within itself because I kind of thought Zach Taylor would be on the hot seat at some point, knowing that they've had issues lately.
A lot.
And part of it because Burrow's not been healthy.
Yep.
So... yeah, there's no way when you're talking about a division like that, it's known for its toughness and everything, that would have been crazy to have a guy like John Harbaugh go to the Steelers. He sure would have known a lot, and it probably would have worked in his favor. But man, the Ravens would not have been happy about that.
It would have made for great television.
It would be good for the drama.
And I'm not saying John brought that into account at all. No. The New York Giants, I understand choosing the Giants over Pittsburgh, but again, I can understand your loyalties have run so deep in Baltimore for so long that the idea of changing out the purple for the yellow and the terrible towels, and for even the terrible towel, now we have to embrace you as our own after we hated your guts for 18 years. It'd be it would have been fun television. We don't get that.
No, we don't. I want to mention real quick about the Steelers too. Again, I'm going to reiterate this: they do not have a quarterback.
Yeah.
We all know everything circulates around a quarterback. I think that goes into your decision too as a head coach where you're going.
But out of the 8 vacancies, is that still the next best job? Because this organization is known for stability.
Organizational-wise, yes, Matt.
And the defense is good. Like, I think compared to some of the other teams on this list right now, you have to put the Steelers towards the top.
No, they are up there. Absolutely. I think that the quarterback is the one thing that they're missing. But again, you can somewhat help find. Maybe there's like a year where you just bring someone in and then you're really bad and you draft someone.
So here are the 8 teams left with vacancies. The Raiders, of course, the Falcons, the Jets, yikes, the Titans, the Steelers, the Ravens, the Cardinals, and the Browns. Maybe the Ravens job comes with a bunch of expectations. Yeah. You are taking over with Lamar Jackson, but there's very much a win now mandate in there in Baltimore compared to some of these other teams that you might be able to build up a little bit. A little bit more patience is on your side. Kyle's busy in there because I was going to include him in this question, but I'll ask you this too, Kayla. Whatever coaching candidate that's out there, this just popped into my brain because coaches are motivated by different things. I'm an offensive-minded coach. I want the best offense. Yeah. I want whoever's going to throw the most money at me. But let's say coaching candidate X has his choice of the group and has $1 bazillion in the bank, so he doesn't care about money. which of these 8 teams is not the best job, but which of these 8 teams like cements you as a legacy coach if you're able to be the one to turn them around? Like if you finally go to Cleveland and bring Shedeur Sanders and the Browns to a Super Bowl title, or you finally do it with the Raiders along with Tom Brady, or is it the Jets? Like you finally make the Jets relevant more than Rex Ryan was able to do so. Which of these teams is like, that's the team that will cement you as a coaching legend if you're able to fix them?
It's always going to be like, there's a 2-part question, because you could go, what is it going to be locally, right? What is it going to be in that city?
Right.
What is it going to, the bigger picture is, what is it going to be more on a national
level.
schedule or level? And if you're going to go look at it as a national level of things, you first of all, the Browns. I hate to say it, and I don't think any coach should go there, or quarterback, because that's where everybody goes to wilt away, die. Sorry, Cleveland.
Or Browns.
But it just is what it is. But could you imagine if a coach is actually able to turn around the Browns organization? We still talk about the Browns because they're just so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a national conversation because they're so bad.
It's the dog pound.
Yeah. And those are very loyal fans, by the
They
way.
are,
You
very
talk
much
about
so.
having to deal with losing. That's an organization that does that. I would actually put the Browns up there. And then I would say the Raiders. I would say the Raiders are right there because it's another kind of, it's a West Coast brand more so than anything, but it has so much history still. And to finally get out of their own shadows, because they've been just living on history for so long. And I think Steve Weiss said the symbol of the pirate and the black and gray. Like, that's all the things we talk about when we talk about the Raiders. We don't talk anything about football and how it's been successful.
And now your name's mentioned in the conversation with Tom Brady forever, right? It was me and Tom Brady were able to do it. That plays a factor.
So I think that's a big one, over on this side of the country as well.
Well, good luck to John Harbaugh over there with the New York Giants. We'll see what these other 8 teams do. And as, of course, we find out who these teams hire and more rumors, we'll bring them to you as the Matt and Kayla Show continues here on Sactown Sports. But we're going to break going into our final hour. Coming up next, our friend and colleague here at Sactown Sports, Chris Watkins, joins us. We'll talk a little Kings with him. But he got to see Cam Boozer in person
I'm so
last
jealous.
night. He's got the scouting report. That's coming up next.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-489-7733. That's 800-489-7733. 800-489-7733.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. It's Matt George and Kayla Anderson on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome back in. Matt George and Kayla Anderson,
Wow.
Long Kyle Ledbetter inside.
Well, you got a Nashville girl in here. I'm
Well, this is-
joking. I'm not from the South, okay?
This is Chapel Roan, so.
Oh, it is. Look at Matt's face. He goes, uh-oh. By the way, I just got killed for calling it gray and black. I know it's not gray and black, but unfortunately my head was spinning in that segment because there was all this stuff going on. I was trying to correct Arthur Blank.
Yeah.
So my brain was
That's
scattered.
okay. Silver
I'm not
and-
perfect.
Silver and black. Look.
Chill out. From the West Coast.
I know. Shout out Raider Nation. We're passionate about our colors, I guess, but we're not in a good position to correct anybody because we can't correct our football team. Joining us right now, diehard Minnesota Vikings.
Wow.
I know.
Wow,
fan.
that's how I get my intro. Okay.
Well,
no,
I mean,
that's fine
we're
with
just
that is perfectly fine with
tying
me.
it in.
Getting
Yeah.
to know each other.
Right.
Chris, watching Minnesota Vikings football is
Yes.
very entertaining. It's not quite as entertaining as Frankie Cardicelli watching New York Yankees baseball.
Yeah.
But it's up there. And I can promise you this, Kayla Anderson, diehard Seattle Seahawks fan, you've got someone rooting for your team big time on Saturday in Chris Watkins.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
can't wait. Yeah, absolutely. Glad to be joining you guys first and foremost. Can't wait for that game, for that Niners-Seahawks game. It should be a thriller, and you know what? I feel like no matter what, I win because I have a lot of, like Kayla, anti-Sam Darnold stock as well as some just generic anti-Niner stock. So it's kind of
He's
you know,
watching with
either
house
way.
money.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
House
playing with
money
house
over
money.
there. Well, Chris, you got to spend your evening while we were in the Golden One Center watching the Kings embarrass Mike Brown's New York Knicks. You spent the night on the campus.
Where's Mike Brown playing chess? That's the thing no one's talking about.
Mike's
here.
like, they want to
Exactly.
win or they want
Exactly.
to lose. Okay,
Exactly. Come
Jalen,
on.
you're going to hurt your ankle in
Exactly.
the first 4
Come
minutes.
on.
See, there's levels to this.
Sorry.
There's levels to this. But you spent your evening at Cal Berkeley, and you
I
watched
did.
one heck of a basketball game.
Yeah.
Cal hosting Duke, may have heard of them, and a certain prospect who's considered consensus top 3, maybe top 4, a name that Kings fans and the Kings should definitely have on their radar. You got to see Cam Boozer play in person. What was first impressions? What did you notice from how good this young man is?
Yeah, first and foremost, I should say it wasn't even the best game in the Bay Area in college with a team from the Bay Area playing a team from North Carolina yesterday because Stanford upset UNC. Me and Kyle, last time we were doing shows, I think it was over the holidays, figured out that they're doing a flip-flop situation where Duke played Cal last night and Stanford played UNC, and then the inverse is going to be on Saturday where UNC is playing Cal and then Duke is playing Stanford.
And you can attend both games if you're willing to leave one at halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a weird timing situation. But, so should first and foremost say that game at Stanford and Palo Alto yesterday looked incredible. I know they had a freshman drop 36 yesterday. But, Caleb Wilson looked great, and I think that's kind of was my big takeaway from the game yesterday. And, I had a bit of a conversation with a couple, actually, different people about it since, because on Twitter I kind of put out that I'm a little bit out on Cam Boozer after yesterday. I came in with some premonitions, of course, but I'm just really struggling to see the elite skill. Like I think especially, it's not even necessarily, and maybe we can have a different conversation about him as an overall prospect, but I think if we're going to have the conversation of if he's in the same, I won't say stratosphere, but in the same tier even as the DeBansta and as Darren Peterson, like I don't see that. I don't see, like any sort of quick twitch, extreme athlete. He seems to be an undersized 4, which I just think it's really hard to be, a big man in general in today's NBA and kind of be the catalyst. Like, we can do it on our hands. How many big men are really affecting the game at that level? Like even Domantas Sabonis. We've had conversations throughout the years of, okay, Domantas Sabonis is at best, I guess you could say, but also at times at worst, the 3rd best center in the NBA. And look how far it got the Kings. Like, what is the value in that? Versus if you get one of these forwards, the examples are countless of Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Giannis, Paul George, even these kind of guys, these forwards that can affect the game at a major level and get you into championship conversations year after year. I'm just not seeing what that sticking out ability is for Cam Boozer. Like he kind of, to me, plays. I've used the comp of like Trey Lyles a lot, which maybe, I could see a high end like Paul Millsap. It's just, again, like Zion without leap. Like that's the kind of game that he plays with. He seems like a guy who is very strong, and he is a freshman who is using his body to overpower other college kids, other, seniors and things like that, especially in today's college game. But which is impressive, but I just don't know if that's necessarily transferable, especially if you're talking about a 19-year-old entering a league with, literal 42-year-old men.
I'm glad you said that, and that's it, to have someone there with eyes actually on Boozer, because we can all watch film, right? Which I've watched clips of Boozer, highlight reels, but it doesn't do the overall picture. I think what's interesting about him, and it's again maybe not the right fit here either, is he isn't flashy, right? Like he's not the most athletic player right now. I think people are like obsessed with he's like older beyond his years and he understands the game, and like Coach K is like, he's wise, like all of that stuff. Like, okay, that's great. Yeah. And maybe that's a great fit somewhere. And over time, like it'll work. But if you're wanting like the impact now, that's going to be like some phenomenal player that's going to make it, I don't see that either.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, at some point he's going to be, the older guy who can continue to use his body and dominate. But yeah, I mean, if we're talking about a guy, again, like the conversation being more about if he's going to be a top elite prospect, it's just that takes a certain kind of special. And I think the thing, and it's just my evaluation too, obviously, you could form your own opinions off it, like just because necessarily I saw him with my eyes. Like there's other people who were there yesterday that I talked with that had a different opinion, but I just didn't see the special athleticism, or again, the thing that made me feel like, okay, I can see an NBA team saying, I will just spam that time after time after time because I know we can build our offense around him or anything like that. Like I just didn't see. I've heard he has elite playmaking, which he didn't really display yesterday. He also didn't make a jump shot yesterday, so that again is going to skew my opinion a little bit on how that affects everything as well. But I just really wanted to see him jump out the gym, quite literally, but also figuratively, and it didn't happen. And also, I will say, like, his team in general struggled.
The way you're looking at that, though, is the same critical eye that Scott Perry and his staff have to look about it. Because the reality is, we still don't know what pick they're going to have. Hopefully, it's number 1. But the reality is, the Kings are star hunting. They are looking for their next franchise player. That they're not looking for a complementary piece. Like when you were describing Cam Boozer, loosely it reminded me of how like descriptions of Keegan Murray. And you know how much I love Keegan Murray.
Love Keegan.
But I loved it because they're in theory star player.
I also didn't like Keegan for what it's worth. Well, I more mean like I'm more saying like I could be missing in Cam things that because again like Keegan I would maybe describe some of the issues that I have like. Keegan was big in the post in college, and I would probably say, like, again, the same issue I would have with Cam Boozer. I don't know how often teams are really going to look for post-ups or look for him just to, really try and focus our offense around let's make sure he has a mismatch in the post where, again, there's 4 other guys out there that at an NBA level, like those guys are going to get to their stuff too. And so real quick, there is something that Kayla mentioned that did spark something. Like it might, and it's something you said too, might just not be a good fit for the Kings. Like I was looking at it from a very Kings focused, hey, we need a hub type, pick. And I think, if he goes to the Oklahoma City Thunder, am I going to say, I think Cam Boozer is going to be a bust and he has no, that's obviously a much better situation for him to kind of curate his game and have some years to figure it out versus, again, here in Sacramento, we need it yesterday.
And that's why I use the Keegan Murray example, not because Cam Boozer and Keegan Murray are the same type of player at all, but when I liked Keegan for the Kings at the time at the 4th pick because you already had Fox and Sabonis there, and you're trying to add on to it. The Kings are looking for, again, number 1.
Yeah.
Whoever they bring in, whether they trade for Kaminga or not, or whatever they do at this trade deadline doesn't matter. The Kings are hoping that this year's draft, they will get the new guy that's going to carry them to a title one day.
Yep.
And if you're having those concerns about Boozer now, that's a valid way to analyze Boozer or any of these guys because I need to see that wow factor. I need to see that star power. And it sounds like you just didn't see that at least yet from Cam.
Yeah, and I'll say, he's obviously around a ton of 5 stars. Like Isaiah Evans looked incredible. Like if we want to talk about some of the other guys on Duke that are they have 4 guys who are potentially going in the first round. Yeah. So that is the one compliment that I'll definitely give about Cam Boozer. And maybe again, that's more of the sell on him to the point that I just made is like, if we're talking about him more in a team aspect, that's where he did fit well into the flow of the offense. I will say Duke was not, again, as I mentioned, like post-ups and things like they weren't spamming post-ups. It was just in the flow of the offense. They obviously know that Cam has the ability to dominate games, but it wasn't as if they were just saying, hey, like we're playing Cal. Cal's not ranked. We're the 6th best team in the nation. Let's just feed Cam Boozer the first 20 possessions and we'll be up 15 and we can take him out by the second half. Like he fits very well within the team concept. And so that's again where maybe the Paul Millsap comp comes to me. Like I don't think it's not saying I don't think he could be an all-star. It's not that he can't be a great player in the NBA or a player that has value or whatever it is that you're looking for. It's just if we're talking about a guy that again is going to be able to kind of shine amongst a team that maybe doesn't have a lot of other options. To me, it just feels like he is somebody who thrives within structure, which is definitely something to be sought after to your Keegan Murray point, but it's just not what the Kings, in my opinion, should be looking for
sure.
Or prioritizing, really.
So what's interesting, and again, I was reading some quotes from Coach K, and he doesn't usually go out there and put himself on a list.
Sure, yeah,
and he was saying, okay, if there wasn't any of these other guys in the mix right now, he would by far be the number 1 overall pick. Okay, he's going to probably push.
Hype his boy.
He's going to hype his boy. But that brings me to Darren Peterson. So with a guy who maybe has missed some games this year, has had some injury things, but I do still feel like he is right now the consensus number 1. Fill the audience in on maybe that doesn't know as much about Darren right now, why he is probably up there as number 1 and why Sacramento should be interested in him.
Yeah, it's a great point. There's a lot of times where there's, especially with Darren Peterson, like you said, there's a lot of questionable things about a lot of these guys as prospects. And I think the thing that makes Darren Peterson so special is he just seems to, even with because with a guy like Darren Peterson, he seems like the prototypical NIL era, hey, this is all on my time, and you're lucky that I chose this situation where I could have been in any situation, which I think is putting off a lot of traditional college basketball fans who are saying this guy's making a mess of especially at a university like Kansas, he's making a mess of this whole thing and a mockery, and he plays when he wants to, and it's inconsistent where he says he's injured and on a minutes restriction, but he'll play all but 2 minutes of the first half and then just not play the second half. I say all of it to say the dude is still scoring 25 points a game through all of that stuff.
Bucket,
and so with a guy like that, it's so clear and obvious that his shot making ability, it just looks there's things that you can just look at and say it might not fit within a structure of something, but that is definitely an NBA skill. The thing that again stuck out from last night, a guy besides Cam Boozer is Isaiah Evans. for Duke, he's a guard forward. His game like reminds me of Rob Dillingham. He looks like Bones Highland. He looks like he can be a Jordan Clarkson. Like you just see immediately that guy can be a microwave scorer. And I think, again, to a long-winded way of answering your question, Kayla, I think you just see a higher floor with a guy like Darren Peterson, with a guy like AJ DeBansta, where a guy like Cam Boozer, frankly, again, I can see a floor of Cam Boozer being Trey Lyles, which is still an NBA player. We love Trey Lyles. Some people think he should have gotten made more, gotten more playing time, all that stuff. But that's obviously just like not the type of player you're looking at for a top pick. It is still somebody who could be in your rotation. He can hit threes. He's usable. He can get you 20 minutes in your rotation, but it's just not really what you're looking for. And I think guys like DeBansta and guys like Darren Peterson, it's just so worth the risk because it feels like the floor is fairly secure, but the ceiling on both of those guys just feels like it's through the roof. Where Cam, again, I just think you really have to be sold on it.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
I'm so all in so many ways on AJ DeBansta.
I know you guys all are. I feel
he's just
here,
an
right?
athletic.
The athleticism that the Sacramento Kings have been
Mm-hmm.
lacking. The idea of just lining him up next to a Keegan Murray. He provides so much athletically and in the physical intangibles what the Kings have been needing. Plus, he's got the raw athleticism and scoring ability that you can build upon. Like, I look at AJ and I go, I can see an organization putting their hopes in that and saying, turn into the star that I need.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you see his athleticism, his ability to drive, handle the ball, finish at the rim. He's got a nasty Euro step. He can finish above everybody. Like, he's a crazy athlete. I haven't seen much of his shooting ability. Like, that's of course going to be the thing that can separate any of these guys. That's the thing that I think, again, makes Peterson just maybe a little bit more of a for sure, is he's just such a natural shot maker that you could see Peterson being like an Anthony Edwards level shot maker. And DeBansta, I think, is somebody who just seems to be a freak. Like, he seems to fit that athletic freak. He's got crazy wingspan. He is a 6'9" ball handler, somebody who's getting triple doubles in college. Like, those are the kind of things that you just feel like, all right, there's enough tools that he's showing off that if three of these things seem to be a skill that he can comfortably handle in the NBA, like that's great. And again, it's just, in my opinion, when you're trying to evaluate college guys, it's trying to find how many things I feel like will definitely translate. And that's the thing with a guy like Dylan Cardwell. Like, he goes undrafted, but there are Dylan Cardwell and Maxime Reynaud, them being on the same team is such a perfect kind of I guess not a parallel, but like,
tandem?
Exactly. Just to kind of see how Dylan Cardwell is asked to do, again, three very specific, rebound, defend, be an athlete, bring physicality, rim run. And Maxime Reynaud, he just has so much more to his game.
Oh, yeah.
But the fact that they can both be incredibly impactful and do it completely different ways in entering the NBA, like those are that's what ultimately matters in the evaluation, because all these guys at some point are 6'5" and can jump out the gym, and they can make an open 3-pointer, and so there has to be little things that separate these guys, and you're really, when you're drafting, you're just banking on rolling the dice that I just feel like those traits are going to pan out more than the other guys.
Well, they're like, the problem is this team is winning games. So it's like,
it's
stop
scary.
winning games, because if you want to solidify one of these
crazy.
guys, you got to be in the top three probably right now. Chris, though, if they do, let's say something, happens where they're right outside the top three, right? And is there, because I know you're watching the landscape of college right now, but is there any guy that you're like, okay, this could be somebody that if for some reason we are out, we still feel confident that this guy could do some stuff?
I mean,
because it's really hard when you have these top three.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a bailout, but I would say Caleb Wilson, who's probably the fourth best prospect.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to go see him,
and I'm going to go see him, and he could end up, if other people, when, I've talked to a couple people who say, like, I'll wake me up in March. Like, I don't even look at this stuff until March. So like, maybe once more people get their eyeballs on these prospects, it might end up kind of being, Caleb Wilson in that third spot. But I would say that Caleb Wilson is the one who just intrigues me the most. He's a crazy athlete. He's getting like 10 rebounds a game. I think he's 4th in the nation, I read, in rebounds, and yet he is built more like your traditional small forward, power forward, but he's kind of playing like a center role for them, but he's still managing to score like 20 plus a game, and it's just really strange how he's getting his buckets. Like I read in an article the other day, he's taken like 15 jump shots all season long, and so he's just a guy who's like elite around the rim. I think I saw somebody say he's like a college version of Giannis, almost, is like what they're trying with him. And, it's definitely intriguing. But again, it has to be one of those things where just because it works in college, does that necessarily mean that that's the role that somebody is going to carve out for you in the NBA? And does it fit somebody else's thing? So I haven't necessarily gone deep enough on the rest of the top 10, but the Kings are just looking for such a specific. I mean, the Kings need a star. That is what they need. And so at the end of the day, if they're not getting a star out of the draft, I just don't really think they need more role players or guys that can figure out how to be a piece of something. They need a central hub.
Well, you'll have to let us know. Send us some notes on what you think of Caleb Wilson when you go and see him.
Yeah.
But switching to the Kings a little bit, what are you seeing from this group? Why is suddenly this team starting to win basketball games? And not just that, they've won 3 straight against 3 playoff teams with a combined record of 72 wins and 43 losses. Like, all of a sudden, in the most Kings way, it's like, oh, we're just going to start beating good teams.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I would attribute it, not to like be a Debbie Downer, but I think a little bit of it is that these teams are all playing pretty terribly at the time in which they are playing the Kings.
Helps.
Doesn't bode well for them, but I think, hey, take them how you get them, and they still are really good teams. But and the Kings are hitting everything right now. Like it's pretty insane how they're hitting from the perimeter. Like DeMar DeRozan feels like he's played his best stretch of the season offensively. And it's really weird, as we were kind of talking about Cam Boozer fitting into like the scheme of it. Like Zach LaVine is kind of finding his need. I don't know. I mean, it could just be that these guys were all thrown together a little bit at the start of the season. Maybe you could kind of say this unit hasn't gotten a training camp together because Domantas Sabonis isn't playing. Russell Westbrook was signed after the training camp, and so I don't like it as an answer, but we're 40. Are we halfway through the season? We are halfway through the season at this point. 41 games. It just took them 41 games, I guess, to kind of get some sort of gelling, some sort of rhythm. Like that's the best that I can attribute to. I'm not saying they've completely figured something out and the switch has been flipped, but I mean, clearly they are a much better team today than they were in the middle of November when it felt like they literally weren't running offense.
And in a crazy way, Kayla, is 41 games too soon? Because Perry's probably going, no. Wait till after the trade deadline to start to figure some things out. Because now Perry might be feeling like, okay, now I got to really start to make some moves if they're going to start figuring things out and winning basketball games.
We're like 3 weeks. I looked at the calendar. In 3 Thursdays from now, it is the NBA trade deadline.
That's what's crazy. We're already in February.
Can we get this thing going?
Exactly. Isn't it JK Day? Jonathan Kaminga Day?
I know.
Can't he get it going?
Nobody got the memo, apparently, except for Matt this morning.
By the way, during Super Bowl week is when the trade
deadline.
So that's going to be one heck of a week for sports.
Yeah, that happens every year.
There's a chance we might be out there, too.
It sounds like we're going to be on radio.
That's going to be a dirty, dirty week.
That's going to be like, Kayla, can you wait for a sec? I got to go take this call.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you make of that report that I put out there this morning? The Malik Monk report this morning that I put out there, because that sent off some skepticism alarm bells in my head.
Yeah. Chris
just goes, yeah.
Yeah, it was interestingly timed for sure. Yeah, it's just what are you supposed to do with that? I mean, it's just like an unfair position for everyone to be in because I mean, if it happens, like. I think you even said it. Like, I mean, if the Kings get an offer, if the Warriors tomorrow say, like, fine, we'll just take Malik and you can have Kaminga, like, the Kings are going to do it. And it's not that what you were told was wrong. No. It's just changes, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, things happen very, very quickly. And, I think it's true until it's not true. But I think it's nice, at least, if it is true, it is nice to hear that, I think even last time we all talked, like it just didn't make sense. It might have been with Alan. It just didn't make sense that that Malik was being singled out as the one that was the problem in all of this. And so, he's played ball relatively for this entire stretch that he's been here. And so it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. I think you know, like the pizza guy is bad. Like it's good to hear, and so
vibes.
I'll just take it for what I want it to be, and that's that Malik is going to stay. But I'm cautiously optimistic, I guess, is how I would say.
Well, Chris, thank you for making the time to join us right now, but you're going to stick around because Chris and Brendan Nunez are joining me on the Matt George podcast. We're doing a crosstalk later on today. That'll be out later tonight. When we come back, though, continuing with the Kings conversation, Dennis Schröder is back. The Kings play the Wizards tomorrow.
Oh, boy.
So now that Schröder's back, does that mean, hey, Malik, your minutes are right back to 0? We will see, and we'll talk about that coming up next.
The San Francisco 49ers' quest for 6 goes through a familiar rival.
He's got it, and 20 more. Touchdown, Seattle.
Niners, Seahawks. This Saturday, kickoff at 5 p.m. Only on Sactown Sports 1140.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
There's the hard way to buy a car, and then there's the Hobla way. Transparent prices, fast paperwork, and a team that's there to help, not hover. We've spent 77 years refining this process so you can get in, get out, and get driving with zero drama. Car buying doesn't have to be stressful. At least, not when you do it the Hoblet way. Experience the difference at HobletDodge.com. The easy way to buy.
Guys, low energy, low drive, or strength not what it used to be? For many men, it's low testosterone. At Revive Men's Health Sacramento, start with a free T-check, exam, and consultation to get real answers. And this month only, qualified patients may receive 25% off testosterone replacement therapy. Call 916-619-3000 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Terms apply. Must medically qualify.
Sometimes you need country music. Next time you have that feeling, check out New Country 105.1 KNCI, where you have 4 opportunities each weekday to win $1,000 and double your paycheck. New Country for Sacramento, 105.1 KNCI.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Celebrate the new year in style with a new Honda from Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. With new Hondas in stock and ready to go, now is the time to save on your favorite Honda in person or online. CR-V, HR-V, Pilot, Accord, Civic, and Ridgeline. It's a new year with endless possibilities. Get the deals that make it easy to say yes. Upgrade and save today at Stockton Honda.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Some news just came out that's potentially very, very bad for the Seahawks.
Can we have a breaking news drop?
Breaking news drop. Kyle, breaking news drop.
When it breaks,
We have it first.
it's Sactown Sports Breaking News.
All right, so this is per Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network. The Seahawks have added quarterback Sam Darnold to the injury report. He's listed now as questionable with an oblique injury. That is not good, folks.
No, that is not good at all.
We are talking about, we are on Thursday afternoon. The game is on Saturday. Let me remind you, it's not Sunday, it's Saturday this week. And now you have got their starting quarterback, Sam Darnold, on the injury report with an oblique.
So there's a video that I'm looking at right now on Twitter. I'm showing you, Kayla, so you could see it, from Greg Bell. I guess he's a reporter that covers the Seahawks. It's a video of Sam Darnold gingerly running onto the field while holding a what are those called? Those massage guns?
Yep.
The Theragun?
Yeah, the Theragun
And
things.
he's obviously working himself or getting the massage with the massage gun. Wow. That's,
and look, it could end up Matt not being anything. Right?
And it's the playoffs, so more than likely he's going to play through it.
But this is where it comes into play. The Niners see, oblique injury? Sam Darnold, who already sees ghosts in the playoffs, and now he's dealing with an injury. We're gonna try everything we can. First and foremost, what can we do to shake that guy up?
The good news is, though, the Niners pass rush is not terrifying.
It's not.
So if you're the Seahawks, you probably feel fairly confident that, hey, we can keep you safe enough so you don't get hurt worse. But all it takes is one.
It takes one, and it's always just, you never want anything that you have to target or you have to, keep extra careful of. You remember when Justin Herbert came back from the broken arm and he had just had surgery? You remember what happened to him in that game afterwards? It was it was bad.
Yeah, carnage.
It was carnage. And again, Seattle has a run game, so they can figure some things out.
Right, but in order for as good as the run game is, you can't beat the Niners. Even this Niners defense, you can't beat them by simply being one-dimensional. You have to be able to air the ball out. There's going to be this. I imagine this game is going to be close. I don't know whether it goes the exact same way as Week 18 or not. There feels like there's going to be at least a drive in this game where Sam Darnold has to march the length of the field and has to deliver. Whether it's 3 points or a touchdown, he's just going to have to deliver. And there's already concerns about him and his reputation and his ability to do that. You've expressed them a lot as a Seahawks fan all week long.
Weiss confirmed it.
Right. So now you've got another added element that doesn't exactly give you the most confidence.
By the way, Drew Lock is the backup. And look, he spent time in Seattle, but I know Drew Lock for one thing. And that is rapping on the sideline when he was with the Denver Broncos.
He's no Mac Jones?
No.
What happened to my boy Jalen Milroe? Is he hurt?
Milroe is there too.
Oh, okay.
I think Milroe they actually might give Milroe a shot before bringing in Drew. Yeah, you're right. I think they'd bring Milroe in.
Yeah.
I think they'd bring Milroe in.
All design runs, baby.
Yeah. I think they might just throw it all out the window and say, bring Milroe in.
Regardless, not good for the Seahawks, but I would expect him to play. But again, what you said is this is happening on Thursday afternoon. This is not Tuesday. This is Thursday afternoon with a Saturday game.
Yeah.
So we'll be monitoring this. Of course, I'm sure we'll have more information about that tomorrow when we do our final preview of Seahawks versus Niners. We will make our picks for all of these divisional round games that are coming up next. Very excited about this weekend of football coming up and breaking it down next week on our second week of the show. But also tomorrow, Kayla, the Kings are back in action. They continue this long homestand. And they take on the team in the Washington Wizards, who is now one spot ahead of them in the Tankathon standings.
Yeah.
With the win last night and the Wizards lost last night, the Wizards moved up to third. The Kings dropped down to fourth. Why is that significant? Because the top three gives you equal odds, 14% chance at number one overall and a 52% chance at a top four. As we just talked with Chris, the Kings desperately need to be in the top four. They need to be in the top four. By falling to fourth, they now have a 48% chance to be in the top four and a 12.5% chance at number one overall. It's not impossible, but now it's not a likelihood that you're top four. You want a likelihood. And I know, well, the Mavericks, they made it all the way to number one.
I don't like hearing that.
Let's not catch lightning in a bottle. Just play the odds.
I agree.
Play the probability in your favor. That's really all that you can do at this point. But going into this game, the Kings have a big question they need to answer. What do we do now with Dennis Schröder? Because Doug Christie has not had Schröder these last 3 games with a suspension for trying to fight Luka Doncic. Kings went 3-0 during that stretch. Again, like we talked about earlier, I don't think it's fair to say, well, the Kings are better without Dennis Schröder. It's Dennis Schröder's fault.
No.
That's silly. But Malik Monk has stepped up and played extremely well in that very familiar backup point guard, backup secondary ball handler role off of the bench to a point now where there's rumors from myself coming out there and reports from myself coming out there that maybe the Kings don't want to get rid of him.
Yeah.
So does Dennis Schröder come back and then just poof, Malik Monk or Keon Ellis or both's minutes are just gone now? Because why should we believe Doug Christie is not going to give Dennis his minutes right back?
Okay, so I'm with you on that because I was thinking of a scenario. First of all, I think Doug Christie really likes Dennis Schröder.
He does, a lot.
I mean, and there's clearly a reason they brought him in this year, Scott Perry. I don't see them just being like, you're on the bench now. Like you're back from your sorry, we're chilling, we're making things happen now. But then think about this. They just put out this whole thing about Malik Monk and how, we love Malik, we're not, we like Malik and everything. So then what if Malik
it's at least being floated around.
Yeah. But then if Malik is sitting most of this game, then it's like, well, wait a second. I thought that you were at least kind of believing in him right now or not trying to make any active moves at the time. So your guess is as good as mine on how they're going to actually figure this thing out because you can't DMP Malik Monk. They just, I guess, cut down on Schröder's minutes.
I'll believe it when I see it. Like, I know, again, Schröder didn't play last night, but here are the veteran minutes in last night's game.
It's a lot.
You had DeMar DeRozan play 41. Precious Achiuwa played really well, so I won't include his 38.5 minutes. Zach LaVine played 36. Russell Westbrook played 39.
Jeez.
You had Dylan Cardwell play 21, which is good. Malik played 19 off the bench. Like, I don't think Doug Christie ever wants to consistently play DeMar DeRozan over 40 minutes. I don't want to see any of these guys playing more than 36, to be completely honest with you. But, like, Keon barely played in this game, and Malik didn't even play that much. Malik played 19 minutes.
19 minutes.
Just shy of 20. 19 minutes, 10 seconds. So Dennis Schröder comes back, and I don't believe, like, one of those two is going back to DNP. There's just no way. And the other one is on, and so even if they give Malik Monk minutes still, now you're taking him out of the role that we think he's best in, that he's thrived in, which is as a backup point guard, because you have Dennis Schröder and Russell Westbrook still playing. So it speaks to the Kings need to move on from one of these veteran guards. And maybe, like I theorized earlier, maybe the Kings are looking more at potentially moving on from Dennis Schröder now instead of Malik. Maybe that makes sense.
Because you know what? I'm like reversing my thoughts now because of the report we talked about that you put, you got a note this morning, kind of giving you some. Can you read that one more time?
Yeah.
Can you read that one more time just so if there's anybody joining us, and it will make my point a little bit clearer on this.
Yeah, I'll happily put out there. This is what I tweeted out. Malik Monk's name has been constantly brought up in Jonathan Kaminga talks for months, but I got an interesting note this morning. Going back to the summer, the Sacramento Kings were pretty eager to try and move Monk and his contract. As of now, that's changed. A source tells me the Kings are comfortable with keeping him and don't appear to be actively shopping him at this time.
Okay, so what if he goes back to DMP? That kind of note came out today. And people are like, okay, it's almost like they're sending out a signal. He might get DMP'd tonight, but we like him. And so don't freak out.
Could be.
We got to put Schröder out there.
Could be. Or it could be, hey, it could be Doug going to Malik or any of these guys going to Malik and going, look, Schröder's back. We're DNPing you right now. We're working on getting one of these guys out there. It's going to be your spot. Again, I still believe that there is some posturing going on with this information getting out on the day that Jonathan Kaminga is available for trade, and I still believe wholeheartedly that the Kings would, if the Warriors said, fine, we accept Malik for Kaminga, the Kings would still do it. Even if this, but I think they would. Maybe there is something there. Who knows? Maybe we'll ask Whitey Gleason and Alan Stiles.
Maybe they have an answer. Could we just keep going round and round? I can't figure it out.
You know what? They will fix this problem for all of us. And if they don't have the answers, then no one will. The Drive Guys join us next to end the show right here on Sactown Sports.
Listen to the #1 sports lineup in Sacramento.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Matt George, and Kayla Anderson. The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
Every weekday live and local 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Online at SactownSports.com or download the app right on your phone. Your number one source for all your Northern California sports. Sactown Sports 1140.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
At InShape, there's a place for every kind of mover. The Sometimer, the early riser, after-work grinder, the yogi, lifter, walker, runner, sauna seeker, recoverer. If you walk, lift, stretch, or sweat, you belong. Start the year strong and join today at InShape.com.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Matt and Kayla, Sactown Sports 1140.
Wrapping up the show on this
Matt and Kayla, Matt and Kayla, Matt and Kayla, Matt and Kayla.
penultimate. That's
Yeah.
what the word, right? The penultimate is the day before. That's
sure.
See, vocabulary is improving. It's Thursday. We got one show left on this first week of Matt and Kayla on
I know,
Sactown
it's
Sports.
blown by.
It has.
Tell you what, we'll give you kids a 3-day weekend. You've been doing such
All
a great job.
You know what? I'll take it.
All right.
Coming from not ever having holidays off, I'm very, very excited about it. But how is the first week of the Drive Guys gone so far?
Great.
You still got
And
2
we're-
shows left.
Yes, we're very excited. Today, I'm sure we'll be breaking down, the Kings only 7 out of that 10th spot. So we're
Uh-oh.
God.
I know Alan's excited.
Hey,
I'm
yes.
excited.
Gross.
We're figuring out the
What's up,
Kings'
AS?
pathway back into the play-in.
I hate those words.
We are not saying those two words.
I saw your podcast.
If anyone even mentions the play-in tournament, I will have a reaction.
How about the play-in tournament, Alan?
Alan, I
No,
almost
thanks.
missed you today
Why?
because I couldn't see you with that neon green.
Oh, literally.
Did you golf?
I like it.
No.
I like it.
No, just a polo type of day.
It's a good look.
That's right.
When's the last time you've been out golfing?
Sun's out.
Just
guns
this
out.
weekend.
Oh.
Guerneville.
Okay.
Four left. Yeah.
Guerneville.
Ever heard of the Masters?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Played at the same, what is it, Alistair McKenzie. Same designer of the course.
Oh.
I actually did
Being
not.
serious.
I
Someone
did
listens
not
to
know
Golf
that.
to Go.
As soon as he finished with Augusta National, right to Guerneville.
That's right.
Next thing you know.
There and back. There and back.
Exact
He
same
is a
kind
member
of
of
course.
Augusta, yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Exact same course.
Yeah.
Kayla, do you golf at all? Are you into golf?
I love covering golf. I do not golf. I mean, I've got an okay swing, but playing baseball, I don't know. Like, was it ever weird for you when you started to golf?
It was.
That was my biggest thing.
People
was
will
the
say,
swing.
"Oh, you got the baseball swing."
Yeah.
That's which should be a good thing, but
It
isn't
should be, right?
really.
You're
It
right,
is,
right?
but it isn't.
Yeah.
To that point, I know this is going way back. Apparently, Ty Cobb was like a horrible golfer.
Yeah.
And it drove him nuts.
Yeah.
I bet it did.
So,
That's why
yeah.
pitchers are normally good because they don't swing anymore.
Yep.
But you know,
Well,
they seldom did.
You're a righty, right? Are you a righty?
Get out.
Are you a lefty?
I mean, that's basically my personality.
Aren't you right-handed hitting second baseman? Alan?
Yeah, that is. That's me.
So but you swing the golf clubs left too, as well, right?
I
well,
do.
then I have no
Southpaw.
I have no help for you. 'cause
Did
I-
you
I-
switch it at all?
No.
Okay.
No. Why mess with perfection? Lefties, come on.
My mom's a lefty.
Yeah. We're just, have you ever been to the left-handed store in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
You know, it's a staple.
Maybe we can all go if we go to the Super Bowl together.
Let's go.
Well, that's about an hour away because you're going to be at the San Jose Convention Center.
Well, it depends. Yeah, where are they doing Radio Row?
Yeah,
Nobody knows.
Where are they doing Radio Row?
I'm assuming Radio Row is where it was last time they were here, which is in San Francisco. But then if you have to go to the stadium for something,
Right.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's a bit of a hike. But I don't know that for a fact, but they typically do things in downtown San Francisco with, the parties and Radio
That's what I
Row.
thought.
Haven't heard confirmation of that. But
Yeah.
then, like I say, when they have the press conference, media day at the stadium, you got to get on that bus. And It's going to take you a while.
Well, Super Bowl Sunday is basically a national holiday, and it's a couple weeks away. But how are you guys celebrating the holiday that is Jonathan Kaminga Day today? How are you
We
celebrating?
haven't talked about it yet. I'm hoping we'll have an exchange of gifts. I don't know that for
We
a
should
fact,
have had the
but-
day off, to be honest.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Got the tree up,
Yeah.
last night. So
The
excited about
Kaminga
that.
tree?
Yeah, yeah.
demanded a trade. So
What's
now
the difference, Alan, between him demanding a trade and just asking for a trade? I don't know if there's a difference. The story
there's
is
a
he demanded
difference.
a
It's
trade.
tone. There's a difference.
But you can only
One of them you
request-
hit the desk.
You can
Yeah.
request a trade, right? But he's demanding a
Yeah.
trade.
I mean, I think it's, hey, he kind of already had requested one, so can we move this thing along here? But again, the Warriors don't have to. It's also it's their season. If they want to blow it up, that's on them.
Is there, when you send a text and it's angry and you hit the button harder? Maybe is that
Yeah.
it? His
That
agent
might
just
be it.
hit that send
all
text. Or it was all caps. It was for sure all caps.
Trade me.
Yeah.
Trade
Please.
my client
Yeah.
now to the
Doesn't
Kings,
it
please.
look bad? I know they don't care in the end, but it feels like Golden State. Like this is just a bad look.
I don't know that it's a bad look. It's just they're just wasting everyone's time.
And it's a waste for them
Yeah.
too.
There's always been that split. Steve Kerr didn't want him. He wanted Franz Wagner, which
Yeah.
is who I thought
Franz.
they should have taken. So there was always that split, and it's never quite been healed over.
Franz Wagner, one pick away from being a Sacramento King.
Yeah, I know.
He was the pick that year, and then he got taken by the Magic. Those darn Magic. Then the Kings got Davion Mitchell.
Yep.
Well, we have that drop. Didn't know we had that, but we have
Isn't
that.
Davion also one of the guys who could be traded today? Isn't he on that list?
I actually don't know that.
I think
Well, he ain't
is.
going anywhere.
I know.
He's he's balling in Miami.
No, Heat fans were saying that Ja Morant trade would have to be
Gross.
It'd have to be
Gross.
Davion and Terry Rozier.
No shot. I don't think you're gonna help me with this, but
I'll try.
because we're in the same boat, Whitey. I hate what I've become because the Kings are on a 3-game win streak. They beat 3 straight playoff teams. Last night should have been way more fun for me than it was, but I was sitting there in the fourth quarter going, Knicks come back, Knicks come back, Knicks come back. I want the Kings to lose. I can't enjoy it.
Yeah, I started to do that, but then watching the game, it was obvious. Well, that ain't happening tonight.
Yeah.
That is just not happening.
I actually feel like they probably win that game even with Brunson. The way that they were playing, the way that they came out. And, Doug, everybody's going to say the right things. Maybe not at the end of the game, but to start the game, everybody's going to say the right things, and it's just another game. But clearly the Kings wanted that for Doug. And, I think we were all talking about Precious Achiuwa because he had a great game. But you could tell Malik almost got kicked out of that game. Yeah. He was fiery. And going back to everything that we've talked about with the Mike Brown and all that, Malik really I think he wanted that to be a Malik game. And they got the win, so it doesn't matter. But he almost got kicked out like 2 or 3 times out of that game. He was fired up to play in that game.
Are you apologizing to Precious Achiuwa today?
For what?
I don't know. Whitey said you didn't want him on the team anymore.
Whitey, don't get me in trouble.
I didn't say anything.
Don't get me in trouble.
It is a fact that a couple days ago, Alan suggested when I said Precious and Dylan Cardwell, you might want to keep them, he suggested, well, oh yeah, let's keep everybody.
Yeah, let's keep everybody.
I will stand in front of Alan a little bit because when we started seeing Domantas Sabonis working out and talking about him coming back, I put out there the suggestion of you start Domas and Maxime Reynaud together, move Precious out of the rotation, and you can still have Dylan Cardwell coming off the bench. So I'm with you.
This is also a revenge game. I'm sorry. I love Precious. I really do. But this was also, he had so much extra motivation. I'm sure you've seen it playing competitive sports. Sometimes it's like a real thing. It happens.
He has been playing well. My larger point was we're doing the thing again.
Yep.
We're doing the thing again.
Here we go.
We're doing the Isaac Jones thing.
But we're not.
We are.
These guys are playing well, better than Isaac Jones ever played.
I think Alan is kind of right, though, because one of the things Scott Perry has to do, and maybe he's going to do it in the case of Keon Ellis too, is I can't make decisions with my heart, and I might have to get rid of fan favorite players in order to ultimately improve this basketball team. That could include Malik Monk. In theory, suddenly this morning, it sounds like that's less likely, or they're less willing to do that. Who knows how legit that is. But Scott will probably have to break some hearts in order to make the moves that he has to make.
And if you're Precious, I mean, that the famous Jimmy Butler quote, Tobias Harris over me, Gershon Yabusele over me. I mean, they basically picked Gershon.
Yeah.
He was, hot to trot. That was after he had played with the Sixers. So coming off that.
Played well in the Olympics.
He played well in the Olympics. That got him to the Sixers, and then he kind of rode that wave. He's not even in the rotation, and they have injuries too, the Knicks do. So, Precious is thinking, you literally picked him over me, and you're not even playing him. But I did have one thing to say, Matt, when you brought up the Malik Monk report, right, that you heard that, hey, no longer, they're not really shopping him the same way. Isn't this like when you're on Facebook Marketplace? Not even when you're on Facebook Marketplace, but you see your buddy post something, they list it for sale, then they post it again, then they post a reminder, then it just goes away. But it was never actually sold, right? You didn't see it ever get sold.
I decided to keep it.
You know what? Yeah. Maybe we do need that second Nintendo. Yeah. Maybe we can just hold on to it for now. Isn't that this? Because they did the same thing right before the season started. I think Scott Perry on these airwaves were completely comfortable with keeping Malik. And then a month later, hey, anybody want a Malik Monk? They've done this.
I've always felt like they're not desperate to get rid of Malik Monk, the basketball player. They want to get rid of Malik Monk, the contract.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. And it's because of the contract situation that it's been so difficult to move on from him. But I had the same feelings. Like when I got the news and heard the report and was having the conversation, it immediately rang off like skepticism bells to where we came up with essentially 4 theories. 1, it's posturing to try and improve value, which I don't think is going to work at all. 2, it's damage control because they don't believe they're going to move him and they don't want to make him upset. 3 is they have legitimately changed their mind and suddenly they like Malik Monk because he's played well over the last 2 games. The 4th one is it's easier to move Dennis Schröder in his contract than Malik Monk in his contract, so maybe we're pivoting more towards trying to shop Schröder. Could be any of those 4.
So who plays tonight? Because Schröder's back.
Well, tomorrow night.
Sorry, tomorrow night. Yeah. That's what I meant.
I mean, I think they got to get rid of more than one of them anyway.
Agreed. Yeah.
So
Schröder plays because they're winning too many games.
Yeah.
That's kind of it makes sense, doesn't it?
Schröder the tank commander?
I don't know. I just want to point this out. I'm not the social media maven that any of you 3 are, but I threw some out last night. Not sure what it is, but the Kings have something in Dylan Cardwell. And normally for me, that's like, I might get like 11 likes or something.
Yep.
But a bunch of Auburn fans jumped on it.
Yeah.
16,000 views and 434 likes.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
For just that little.
You got the War Eagle community.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We love Dylan Cardwell here.
We love him.
We love Dylan Cardwell here. We love him.
Wait,
we'll
you don't
never
like
trade
him?
I do.
Okay,
I like everyone.
But this is when Alan does this, I love him.
I do.
I don't know what to believe.
signing off.
And that was from our interview. That's when the whole Bean Man thing started.
Did do that, huh?
Yeah, and we were thinking, oh, okay, did he already have that in the bag? So somebody said, oh, he starts with this Bean Man thing. No. He started that a while back.
Bean Man signing off.
I don't have a problem with anybody.
Yeah.
Love everyone, keep everyone. Let's make the roster 50 players. This is what happens when your team is bad.
You're missing the point.
But no. He is a good player. I've seen the numbers from our guy Jack Dan. He's a good player. He makes the team better. All I'm saying is we can't do this with everyone. We can't do this with everyone.
Keep going, Alan.
What's coming up on the show other than Alan trying to get rid of Precious Achiuwa and Dylan Cardwell?
Dylan Cardwell.
It looks like I just got word. It looks like Kyle Draper may be joining us today.
Ooh.
And we'll watch somebody in the room light up when I mentioned that Steve Rabel's going to be on the show today.
Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, isn't it? The receiver? The one that the announcer for the Seahawks? Which one is that?
Wait. I thought you were talking about Mike Vrabel for a second.
No. Steve Rabel, the Seahawks radio announcer?
Okay, the current one.
Yes.
Yes. I was so confused. I thought you were saying the former coach of the Tennessee Titans. I was like, why is he on the show?
I still am confused, but I can't wait to listen.
Oh, I'll be listening.
All right.
The Drive Guys comes up next. Whitey Gleason, Alan Stiles, take it away, and we'll see you on Friday on Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that,